Welcome to a twitch.tv/RonanPawn live stream. As you can see from the color of my skin, I am very ill, but you guys demanded a live stream, so... Hello, I am the Ronan Pawn, and welcome to a twitch.tv/RonanPawn live stream here on twitch.tv/RonanPawn. Okay, I might have gone a little bit too far. Ugh. Oh, how's that? Is that pink? You know? What do I want to be here? Do I want to be there? Now we got it. Welcome to a inauguration Trump live stream here on the Ronan Trump channel. Let's just a little bit back it down. What color do you like my skin at? How about human color? How about fuchsia? Because this is as close as I get to human color. Hello! Oyo's streaming, and it's a secret to every pony, and I'm not an hour early, pony. You people with your time zones and your unwillingness to just do whatever America says to do. Bastards. Hello, Tisapef. It's 4 p.m. where I am. Do you know where your children are? Do you know what's going on inside your house? Welcome. I have been ill. We did not do a live stream on the Sundays. We did not do a live stream on the Mondays. And now it's a Wednesday, and it's supposed to be a Zendnesday. Zen, as it's the Buddhist practice. It's supposed to be a Zendnesday. I don't have it in me to do a Zendnesday. I don't even want to play American Truck Simulator. Anyway, welcome to American Truck Simulator. We're going to be playing that today. That and also my... Too loud. Too loud. Okay, just volume down on you by several ticks. Okay, welcome, and why is this on there? There we go, that's what we're looking for. Welcome to American Truck Simulator, the game I don't want to play on the... Why does it have to be a Wednesday? I could have played anything. I could have played anything I wanted, but I had like 10 minutes to decide what I was going to play, and this is what we're playing, because, I don't know. We have a fun thing in the US called Daylight Savings, explains Mage Lord Exelbert. Our clocks got moved an hour ahead this past weekend, so while it would have been 3 p.m. for Pawn right now normally, it is now 4 p.m. instead. We've got that in the UK too, says the Secretary Pony, but I don't know when it goes into effect. Usually, Europe is like... it's really messed up because there's like a 2-week difference sometimes, and I don't know how the world operates. We're a big world, there's, you know... People are doing business across all the country lines and oceans and stuff like that, and it's hard enough to having to figure out, wait a second, okay, it's -5 to you know, the United Kingdom, but it's -6 to certain sections in Germany, and then you get deeper, you know. It's hard enough that we got all these different time zones. Why can't we all just always be what time where I am? That was almost a sentence, even. It's hard enough with the time zones, and then we gotta decide, you know what, we're gonna do the daylight savings thing, and then on top of the daylight savings thing that nobody likes, nobody wants, we're also going to have our daylight savings is gonna switch at different times than your daylight savings! Just make it, you know, just thank you for making things so simple and clear in an already difficult system. Oh wow, says the 14th Doctor. Pawn started early. I didn't start early! Let's get it started early here. Into the job market, and show me where the hell I am. I'm in New Mexico! Thanks very much to somebody, Mage Lord Exelbert. Do you know somebody who donated me New Mexico, the DLC, for American Truck Simulator? Somebody. He couldn't have been too smart, he's giving me things for free. Anyway, What are we doing then? I want to stick in New Mexico. I want to explore New Mexico. I want to go to Boca Raton. Not Boca, but I want to go to Sarajevo, Socorro, Hobbs? Yes, I want to go to Hobbs. Why would you not just drive straight south? Seriously? You haven't put in a road just down? I don't know how the world operates either. Certain countries don't do daylight savings at all. Hell, daylight savings has no purpose anyway, right? Nobody wants this. Dear 5, no idea though who that could be, Pawn. No idea at all. Who donated me the New Mexico package? Yeah, I can't seem to recall myself. Anyway, I just want to explore New Mexico. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the love, which is why I have over $400,000 in American Truck Simulator right now, because of the love. I'm just gonna take a short job, a brief job, just because, you know, I want to explore this New Mexico. Do you think they're gonna name it that after, like, California and a portion of Arizona, like, fall off? You know, the United States because of global warming. Do you think that they'll rename it to New Mexico? That's what I'd do. It's okay. It's supposed to be 15 miles per hour in here, but ain't no cops around. Let's gun it. Oh wait, I think since my GPS is not telling me that I need to go anywhere, I think I'm actually picking up whatever it is that I'm going to be, you know, transiting here. Oh, and fellers, since the last live stream we did, you know, 3 months ago or whatever, since on that one the sound kept giving us issues and there was clicking and stuff, I got to watch that live stream back after the fact, and, you know, I had the pleasant experience of hearing what you guys were hearing. So let me know if it starts up, well, it's still, you know, don't wait until it's like blowing everybody's ears out and then say, I think there's something wrong with the audio. If you think there's something clicking and snapping and popping, you mention it up and early, baby. What? Oh, where am I going? I just want to know, this was intentional. I want to go over here and then I'm going to turn around. I totally meant to, I'm going to swing a Yui in the middle of the road here. See, I know what I'm doing. It's worked out for me real good the last time I did this in the middle of a highway. I just cut across the median because I wanted to go in the other direction. Worked out great, so I'm going to implement it more. Pawn is so pawny, says Brent Geary. Hello, Brent Geary. What was the route? Clovis to Hobbs? San John to Hobbs? It's, I don't know. There are hobbits involved, I know that. So, I've taken the job. There's a white thing over there that's calling to me. That's racist. I need to sneeze, and I need to feel better than I feel presently. So, I'll tell you what happened. I went out, Saturday night? Let's say it was a Saturday night. Last weekend I went out, right? And I had a good time. And then I came home, and I had less of a good time. I don't think really the two things had anything to do with each other. But I felt very ill. I became very, very ill in the feelings of, after my night out. Woke up actually, in the morning I was fine. I was doing stuff. Maybe that's more the problem that I've been having, is that I got a little bit ill, a little bit sick, and then, you know, I'm just being stupid because I got chronic fatigue syndrome, and if you're a little bit sick, well then you need to, like, lay off even more. But I remember waking up in the morning, I felt good, felt ready to go. I started doing some stuff, and about 3 hours into it, I started, like, having hot and cold flashes. That's how ill I was. So I basically just, like, climbed into... I didn't even climb into bed. You know where I climbed into? Behind me, the green screen, there's a sofa behind it right now. I left the green screen in place and then just climbed under it like it was a little canopy and spent a fair portion of the day under there. Just feeling horrible. And then the next day I woke up and I felt better, but when we got nearer the live stream time, I was feeling worse on top of the better, so I decided, yeah, I'm gonna do the smart thing like I don't usually do, and take another day to, like, get feeling good again. And since then, it's just been kind of up and down, which I guess is how things work. It's really hard to even know if you are sick when you have a perpetual chronic condition, you know? Because it's like, is this just, you know, one of my bad days, or am I legitimately sick? In fact, I was having hot and cold flashes. Is this a new symptom of chronic fatigue, or God knows what it is I actually have? Or am I, you know, actually sick? Oh, look, it's gonna rain! I see people spitting on my windshield. It's raining! Man, hallelujah. No, wait. There we go. Yeah. Put the wipers on. In the delayed mode, too. It's just drizzling. It's just drizzling. It's not, like, coming down. Oh, American Truck Simulator, you're so good. You know, in Minecraft, it would just go from completely dry to just full-on raining. This is just pissing on you, you know? It's just somebody spitting at you every now and then. Oh, American Truck Simulator. Is there a Euro Truck Simulator 2? Is there a... Maybe that's what I've been playing all these years. Chat is back for me now, says Hoyo Stream. Oh yeah, chat's not on screen, is it? You guys want it there? Where's the in-stream chat though, says Hoyo Streaming? People were asking if I could not have it there at the end of the last live stream we did, and then I just forgot about it. Do you want it back? It vanished under mysterious circumstances. Indeed, it did. By the way, if you could keep this stream time, that'd be great, Pawn, says Hoyo Streaming. Oh, you want me to start an hour earlier? All my viewers in California, by which I'm not aware of any viewers that well, Rex. Rex wouldn't be able to... Rex doesn't usually show up until an hour or two in, anyway. Spit on it. Yes, there is, says Groggles. Euro Truck Simulator 2. Cheer 10, Endless Cheering 10. For a minute there, I thought... There's a song in that. I thought you were streaming early, but then I realized U.S. Daylight Savings is before UK Daylight Savings. Yeah, ain't it a pisser? Don't it just start raining all over you? I'm going to turn the wipers up to fuller blast, and I'm also going to start doing the speed limit, just for fun. Oh, 15 miles per hour even, huh? Okay, why? It's because there's a train track here? You know, the slower you go, the longer it takes you to get over the train. Ooh, it's lightning. The longer it takes you to get over the train track. Do they actually do that in New Mexico? 15 miles per hour at the railroad. I guess if it's one of the bad railroad tracks, we have that too. You know, where they're old ones and they're like, you go to drive over them and so yeah, you would want to slow down just to keep the tires on the car. Yeah, the daylight savings thing. In the U.S., clocks rolled forward an hour, so unless you have daylight savings time in your country, this will be start time until Pawn changes it or until November rolls around. Yeah. It's always 4 p.m. Eastern time unless we as a community decide to do it some other time. So, you know, just set your watch to 4 p.m. Eastern regardless of what your local time is, and then, you know, what's important will be taken care of, which is that you'll be at the streams when I do the live streams, damn it! When I'm ill, playing a game that I... Okay, some of that's gonna come up sooner or later. No chat, please. I don't want to know what Pi is complaining about, says Lampman88. I don't think it's any easier to ignore Pi when the chat isn't on screen. Because it's just a bit over there, isn't it? The chat's just right over there. I don't see a Pi, says Hoyo Stream. Where the hell is Pi? Oh, he doesn't know that we started early. Because we didn't start early. It's daylight savings crap. Am I going, like, up a mountain or something? I'm finally getting the speed that I expect. I'm gonna do as fast as I can in the rain with a semi-truck. 70! Baby! That's safe. He's not here yet, but he will be. Then he'll spend the stream complaining about it being Zen's Day. Well, maybe it isn't Zen's Day. I don't know. I don't know if I'm up to, like, revealing the secrets of the cosmos to you today. I'm getting over an illness, you know? Maybe we could just talk about physics and politics instead. You know what we end up doing for the Zen's Days all the time anyway. Groggles says, I'm now, oh crap, slow down. Groggles says, I'm now playing stock KSP with the expansion. No, okay, slow down a lot, because these guys like to lock up their brakes when you get up their ass. They get pissed off, and then they'll hit it. And then you can't stop in time, because you're in a giant semi-truck. I said I'm sick, I can get away with it. It's Wellness Day, says Mage Lord Exerbirth. Fine, it's Wellness Day instead today. I like that. I just got my, Medicaid card. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have basically all the insurance you can get for free in America, because I'm pretty sure I've just got unrestricted Medicaid now. I finally signed up for it, you know. Not so much for me as please, make way. As for my mother in particular, I have family who's, you know... Oh, God, what are you stopping for? It's straight through, and there's no one in your way. Turn right. Jesus. Knowing that I've got a condition undiagnosed, that's probably chronic fatigue syndrome, but, you know, nobody's been convinced of anything yet. I have. I'm willing to entertain the notion that it's something else. You know, she worries. She worries. She's a mom. Tier 5, so $10 of coverage, right? I've got all the coverage you can get for free in America on Medicaid. Because, you know, my income. I actually, in reporting my income to the Medicaid, in the process of, you know, asking, can I have free health care, please? I got to look through, I looked up my 2016 tax records because they asked, like, what was your total income for last year? Actually, they asked, what do you expect to be your total income this year? And, like, I have no idea. Best thing that I could come up with was, I will look up what my total income was last year. But when you go to, like, look something like that up, like, what is total income? You know, in terms of taxes and stuff like that, like, what is the office that's deciding whether or not I get health insurance going to consider total income? You know, it's not gross income, it's what's total income? So I looked up on the my tax forms from 2016, the line that said total income. And what I reported as my total income last year was less than $5,000. But I own this house, because of all the expenses and write-offs and things like that. You know, I claimed as much as I possibly could in terms of what you know, the money that I spent on things that could be said to be for the channel and whatnot. You know, we upgraded the computer to the AMD Ryzen last year, so there was a couple $100 there, and you know, you stack all the things up. You know, if I bought any games, if it's my internet, you know, that sort of thing. It all goes toward the business. So after I write things off, yeah, 4,000 and something was my total income. So I applied, you know, for my Medicaid card, said I'm self-employed, I make $4,000, and I think between the fact that there's no one to contact to verify that because I'm self-employed, and the fact that I said I made $4,000 and some last year, like, I was amazed. I've never filled out a government form online and clicked the button, and then it went, "You're approved!" But it did. I was approved on the click of a button. There was no, like, period of, we need to look into some things. They just gave it to me. Tier 5, start a cooking channel and you can claim your food, too, says the Steve Every Pony. My God, are we on the same cycle? Is it your time of the month? Because I was just thinking the same thing, Pony! Well, not that I could claim my food as well, but I was thinking cooking channel. I do want to do a cooking channel. I want to do cooking videos on Ronin Pawn. What I want to do, I want to figure out, like, some kind of strap harness system, and I want to take my cell phone, okay, because I ain't buying any new cameras. I ain't buying no friggin', what does everybody use with the sports camera that you tack to your head? Jesus God! With the lights in... Is this Area 51? I see a lot of UFO stuff here. Yeah, the street lamps have eyes. Yeah, Waco, Texas? What is it is it... It's Roswell. We're in Roswell. There's a lot of traffic lights in Roswell. They want you to stop and see the... Look overhead. Keep your eyes open. I would definitely watch Chef Pawn. I like cooking, says Major Lord Exober. Yeah, what I want to do is I want to get away to, like, strap my cell phone to my chest and or kind of neck looking down kind of thing. And I want to do first-person cooking. First-person chefing. Because, you know, that's kind of the easiest way to do it. You know, I can actually just hit record on my cell phone at 1080 and get out of my way. Get out of my... Alright, fine, you can be there. I won't move over. I thought this lane was ending. Easiest way to do it, just hit record and then, you know, start making stuff. And I'll have to reorder a lavalier microphone. I ordered one from Amazon, and it got here. Still sick, people. It got here, and it was broken. It was dead on arrival, so I had to send it back to them. I'll have to reorder the one that I ordered in the first place so I can have a good mic plugged into the cell phone and just record it that way. But that's what I want to do, and I also want to set that up. I've had that idea for actually almost a year now, because I also want to like be able to do walking around Detroit videos and walking around Hamtramck and take you guys to the interesting places. And also I want to start doing something. I want to play with like what Ashens does on his YouTube channel. If you're not familiar, Ashens is a YouTube channel. I want to do what he does on the Ashens channel, something similar, because there are these dollar stores in Hamtramck that have, you know, the weirdest stuff. For years, I held on to a pack of sponges I bought from a dollar store in Hamtramck just because of the text on the back of it, that it was so, what do you call it, English? What? it was like someone in China put what they wanted to say into Google Translate in Chinese and just copy-pasted the text. And not even that, actually, because half of it was misspelled, so someone who thought they knew English, someone Chinese who thought they knew English, wrote the description of this product, and they didn't know English. They actually spelled United States like 3 or 4 different ways before the end of it. Kept it around for years. There's a lot of stuff like that around here that I'd like to, you know, to take you on a trip and go in, buy some things, come back, and make some jokes about them. Cheer 5, Angela's cheered some time ago now. I'm expecting a package. Ooh, sexy. And I just checked the tracking, and it's actually gotten further away than it was yesterday. Are you the delivery driver, Pawn? If I were, you probably wouldn't get it in one piece. Jesus God. I've heard of that, though. I've heard of, you know, like, someone I was talking to ended up getting something in the mail and it took forever because, like, it was sent from the U.S. and for some reason they accidentally put it on a truck to Canada. So it was sent from the U.S. halfway across the U.S. and then up into Canada, and then it had to be sent from Canada back into the U.S. So I'm sure it was one of those things where if you're watching the tracking, it's like, hey, it's getting close. It's getting close. Where's it going? What's it doing now? Oh, it's coming back. I've heard of that. It happens, especially when I'm driving. Pulling here an hour early, says a guy called Pie. Shoot, he's here. 14 Dog goes, and Pie's here. I'm not an hour early. Daylight savings time is just a son of a bitch, is what it is. No one likes it. Nobody wants it. No one can explain why it is. But we've all got it, and we've also decided to, you know, not even on a global scale agree when it should take place. I hear there are several businesses built on, I think it's, is it Africa? Africa gets things in from Australia, and they have, like, completely different time systems that are, like, a quarter of an hour off of each other, and I don't know. I'm feeling well today. Anyway, yeah, I do want to do a cooking show, because I know a lot about nutrition, and I also know a lot about making cheap things that aren't good for you taste better. I long ago, you know, early in my YouTubing career, I wanted to do a cooking show where it was, you know, like, college cooking. So, you know, the goal would be to spend as little money as possible and get the most possible food out of it, but also make it taste good, you know, so stuff like using instant mashed potatoes as thickeners, and how can I make a pack of ramen noodles not just be deadly from the amount of monosodium glutamate that's in it, and things like that. I wanted to do that, And I still think that there could be a couple of shows in that. But you know, I actually am a pretty decent chef. I cook. I made bread today, in fact, and that's not chefing, that's baking. But I made bread from scratch today. But I'm a pretty decent chef because when I was in the Zen Center, the way the Zen Center paid the bills was with a commercial kitchen, and eventually I was put in charge of running the commercial kitchen. Now, it took like 2.5 years to get there. I started out washing dishes, and you know, eventually they let me put together the recipes for the products that we were selling, and eventually, just by virtue of doing every single job in the kitchen one by one, I knew how every single job in the kitchen was done and was qualified to run the kitchen. Now, when I was qualified to run the kitchen, I'd say it was like a year more that that I was passed over time and time again for being put in charge of the commercial kitchen. And I'm not exactly sure why that was. Because literally, like, I had been there for maybe 2 years, and some new person comes in off the street, and the person who's running the kitchen at that time, like, just breaks down and can't do it anymore, or, you know, it's just like things are crumbling, or maybe they just left the Zen Center, but whoever was doing the managing, so we had a empty position there, and someone who's just come into the Zen Center like a few weeks ago, who's not specifically, like, trained in chefing or anything like that, who's not like a chef, they would put them in charge instead of having to put me in charge. Like, I was the last option. I don't know what it was about me. I was the plague. I'm actually torn between thinking that either they didn't want me in charge because it involved managing people, and maybe they thought that I wasn't capable of that. You know, it's people management, it's human management. Maybe they just didn't want to put me in charge because in the other situations where I'd been in charge, I was a dick or something. I don't know, so I'm torn between maybe that's it. Jesus, why would you stop and then... It's just, he was just changing lanes! And he just locks up his brakes! Asshole! I'm in a truck here, you know how much gas you just cost me? That's petroleum, dick! You know how many dinosaurs had to die for your little maneuver? I mean, they were already dead, but they had to be snaked out of the ground. Who cheered? Pie cheers 5. Plum, when are you going to play Planet Coaster or another game that isn't tedious and bland? Well, you just said Planet Coaster or a game that isn't tedious and bland. Like, what are you talking about? It's just go! Friggin' people with your fear of, you know, driving forward. So yeah, I'm torn between whether or not, they didn't want me to be the manager because the people management thing, or if it was like the Zen master, you know, my teacher, who was telling him don't put him in charge. I you know, want him to focus on the Zen hall, because I'll tell you what, once I, you know, was in charge of the commercial kitchen, your life becomes the commercial kitchen, you know. The whole day you work in the commercial kitchen and you manage the commercial kitchen, and then you like schedule volunteers to make sure that they're going to be there to keep the commercial kitchen running, and then at the end of the day you try and like sit down and plan out the rest of the day or the next day rather, so that you know what you're going to do the moment that you've got the volunteer staff on hand, so that you're not wasting their time and yours while you figure out like what's gonna so I, you know, if I give myself any credit, then, you know, fingers crossed, the reason why they didn't want me running that was because my teacher wanted me focused on Zen, because I was the only person there who said, you know, who was in the program who had said, I want to be a monk. So maybe he was saying he wants to be a monk, don't turn him into a, you know, kitchen manager. And then eventually all the other kitchen managers, you know, burned out from massive stress, and you're trying to do that while you're practicing Zen, and you say, well, Zen helps, and it does, but it's also, what did I just hit? I hit the flat concrete. What am I hitting? Oh, yes. That pole would be the thing you're hitting. Yeah, daily meditation certainly helps with it. But also, being in the program of being a Zen student isn't just about daily meditation. You know, if you're, like, on the outside coming into a Zen monastery, that kind of thing, then you get to come in, you sit down, you meditate, the teacher gives a nice Dharma talk. This is lovely. This is nice. All of my stress is gone. Oh, it's so... Zen is so nice. And then when you check in to be a resident at a monastery, you're now in charge of, like, providing that experience for the people who are coming in. And also, you know, people are getting in your shit every day because, you know, you're in the monastery and you have shit to be gotten into. You don't wind up in a monastery because everything's going great in your life. You know? So, you know, you're trying to interact with people and you're having interpersonal problems and, you know, it's just like anything else except for you live and eat and sleep and everything where you work. That's close enough for you? Close enough for me! Let me just leave it there. Yeah, it's a lot more, stressful to be training in Zen than to be practicing Zen, is what I would say if I had to come up with words to make that distinguishment. If I had to dyslexia. Am I alone? What? I mean, ATS, it's always exactly the same, isn't it, as a guy called Pi? Yes, that's what I'm enjoying about. Pi, for fuck's sake, this isn't Zendnesdays, one plays American Truck. This is the 14th. It's not fun and creative like Planet Coaster or KSP. Jesus. Fun and creative, are they? They are creative. They can be fun. Maybe now that we're done with the opening to the park, the, you know, minutia of trying to build a Star Trek, trying to build the Enterprise D interiors in a game that hates to build interiors, apparently. Maybe now if we try Planet Coaster, you know, if I get in there, it will start to be actual, like, fun. Like, you click and you build something, and hey, I got something, and then you get to tinker with it, as opposed to, why won't you fucking place the wall there? Spin it! Not that way! The other way! Trucking yard's worst nightmare. Pawn driving in their yards is Dramasian. Hello, Dramasian. Did chat break again for you, Pi? What are you gonna do? I'm exploring New Mexico. That's why it's new and interesting. In fact, yeah, we just went through... God, I made it out like it was nothing. We just got to drive through Roswell. You know, I should have looked for Area 51. It's out there somewhere. And you do, now that we're in New Mexico, keep your eyes open, because I'm sure they have UFOs in the game. I mean, wouldn't you put them there? If you were designing it, I certainly would, so I assume they would, too. I don't want to go anywhere that I've been. What is... Oh, okay, I'm not in there. I'm like, what the hell? Why are you giving me... I don't want to go anywhere that I've been, but I want to keep exploring New Mexico. And apparently... Hobbs doesn't ship to New Mexico. They only ship to California and Arizona. You pricks. That's just across the border. We'll go to San Simon, and then we'll come right back. Yeah. Move me some office supplies. I don't care about the money. Wait, where are you going? Tucson? No, I'm not going there. It's Tucson. It's that. What? There's no one here. Really, the 14th Doctor, your chat is messed up and it looks like there's no one here because there's 16 people between the two platforms right now, according to my readings. Interesting how Twitch is failing today. Because it's always in a state of failure, isn't it? It's like me. That's why we get along so well together, me and Twitch. Always in a state of failure. Yeah, so I ran the commercial kitchen at the Zen Center, and just also in terms of learning how to cook and learning how to chef and that kind of thing, just also being in a place, because, you know, they're Buddhists, and me too, so I just like saying it that way. You know, those people, they're Buddhists. So you go into a Zen monastery, a Buddhist monastery, you know, you're not having burgers. You know, vegetarian cuisine. Cuisine in which no, like, living mammal had to be murdered in order to make it happen is mainly what you're doing there. And in the Zen Center, when I came in, it wasn't just vegetarian. It wasn't just vegan even. It was raw. Have you even heard of a raw food diet? Have you ever even considered the possibility that you could eat just raw food? You know, nothing that has to have heat applied to it. Nothing with heat applied to it. Concept of a raw food diet is that, generally speaking, food is going to be better for you when it's still alive. And that's why you don't want to eat, like, cows and stuff, because it might be better for you while it's still alive if you just bit into it, but, you know, that's if you can avoid getting kicked in the face. You know, the hooves are they're powerful, is the thing. So, if you're going to eat exclusively live food, it's a good idea to just make sure that it's, you know, plant-based. So raw food, wow, that's a pretty restrictive diet. And the thing is, being that restricted in terms of the ingredients that you're using, not processed food, you know, anything processed, any condiments or anything like that, well, that's dead food. It's not live food. And we're trying to eat live, raw food. So no processed food. It's got to be a living, you know, plant of some kind, or that's where it came from. Well, you learn how to cook real quick because you have, like, less things that you're working with. You know, it's you learn flavor profiles in a hell of a hurry because your spices and that sort of stuff is all you got, baby. You're not throwing a, you know. Like, you know why chicken is in all salad? It's almost impossible to just get a salad. Like a meal salad. Chicken is in all salad because chicken makes salad taste good. And then you don't have to, like, make a good salad. What we ate at the Zen Center was 900% salad. It was always salad. So I know how to make a million salads that are f***ing delicious and that involve no meat. And that do not involve just ranch or Thousand Island, because that's also processed, you know, crazy animal fat food. Well, maybe not animal fat. Some of it uses olive oil and stuff like that. We made our own dressings. We made our own everything. We read the cheers when they came in. Knock the cow out, 14th Doctor. Knock him out and then eat him. He's still alive, technically. That's just smart, 14th Doctor. I don't care who you are, that's just smart. Angela's cheered, I had considered the option of a raw diet, then I said Big Mac and fries, please, because the counter assistant was looking at me funny. Yeah. What will the stream answer, Pony? Why are we here? Just to suffer? Well, actually, Pony, maybe. It is a Zen's day. You know what the founding principle of, like, Buddhism? I mean, if you're gonna say, like, a founding principle, what's the, like, origin teaching of Buddhism? Is, life is suffering. That is rule number one. That is the first thing that they say to you. It's the first thing that Buddha taught other people. It's like, come to me, children. I want to teach you of a great spiritual religion that I've discovered a truth. Come to me so that I can share this truth with you. And they all gather around and he goes, life is shit. And it hurts. And it's saying, Jesus, God. I'll just give me the Big Mac and the fries and I'm getting out of here. Every night I can feel my legs. This is a secret to every pony. Do you have a pain in your leg? Or do you just mean are you just making a general sort of statement? Every night I reach down and I touch my leg and I can feel it. You guys have the same experience, or am I alone in it? Cheer 5. So is dairy allowed then, says Mage Lord Exelbert? No. No. Oh. We didn't... See, here's the thing. I don't think we were exclusively not eating dairy, or not taking dairy. We were not taking cow's milk, because cow's milk is not even really milk anymore, and also cow's milk, you know, half of the population of the planet can't digest it, and the other half doesn't digest it well. You know, you might not have problems, but you're not getting, like, what you could be getting out of something else. So we weren't, yeah, dairy. We didn't do, like, cheese, like straight cheese. We didn't do milk. We did, however, occasionally, my Zen master, in fact, was taking, like, goat yogurt, in order to get some calcium and vitamin D and, you know, the things that are in dairy, but it was goat dairy. Before it goes off my screen, Pi cheered, "You know, I just watched an episode of Voyager where Nazis take over the ship and Janeway turns into Katharine Hepburn, and it's really weird and shit, but it really makes you think," says 14. I've seen that episode. What does that episode make you think about? Janeway becomes Katharine Hepburn, and Nazis take over. Makes you think. Boy, it really does, 14th Doctor. It really does. Does it make you think about raw food and dairy? Yeah, so, you know, the raw food diet, what am I doing? Well, you're sitting here doing nothing. Right, we're going to San Simon? That's where we're going. Yes. Give me that job. God, I completely forgot I was playing a game. I'm not even joking. The diet, the raw food diet was, you know, raw food, it gave us, like, it gives you, like, a format. It gives you a place to start, you know? But, it isn't just like, we're doing raw, and raw is the pure limitation and anything else. You know, if it was good for you, well, then we'd do it. We were going based on, you know, the best nutritional information and science that we were aware of at the time. But, yeah, it was raw food, primarily, and it was vegan. Except for apparently when goat's milk started coming into it, because we heard there were good things about goat's milk. And, hey, you know, goats like to be milked. What's the problem? Give me this. God, I love milk, says the Sikh pony. I'm fond of it myself, I guess. I always wanted to... has anyone here had actual cow's milk? By which I mean not pasteurized cow's milk, like cow's milk from the teat. Raw cow's milk, the stuff that still has all of the things that make cow's milk good for you in it, because it hasn't been boiled to the point where it's basically just, you know, cow-flavored water. Has anybody ever had actual real cow's milk? Because I never have, and I would love to try it. I think it would be disgusting, but I would love to try it. Love to find out what it's like. In America, it's not legal to sell real cow's milk, because it has to be pasteurized, you know, for the whole getting rid of all the nutrients. No, the safety of not having, you know, bacteria in it and that sort of a thing. But so it's not legal to sell just, you know, raw cow's milk. So what they do, you can still buy it. What they do is, for example, at Detroit's Eastern Market, which is, you know, just like our farmer's market kind of thing, you can buy what they call a cow share. So you're buying a share of ownership on a cow that someone owns. And then because the cow is yours, well, you can drink your own cow's milk. And then the person who you buy the cow share from milks the cow and brings you your portion of the cow's milk. And so they get around that fact that you're not allowed to sell unpasteurized milk. I'd like to try it. Has anyone here ever tried it? I was about to mention yogurt because technically that has living organisms in it that are beneficial to your digestive system, says Mage Lord Exilbert. Yeah, I mean, that's part of why my Zen master started taking, and we started taking a little bit too, but mainly it was for him, goat's yogurt. Because, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there, and you need the bacteria in your system or else your digestion don't work quite right. Do it. I'm a vegetarian is a phrase often said wrong in Dutch. says Hoyo streaming. Is it supposed to be said, I'm a vegetarian? I don't know. How do the Dutch say it? Tier 5, like a timeshare, but with cows? This is a secret to every pony. Yes. Yes, exactly like that. You visit your cow's milk, but only 2 weeks out of the year. Yeah, they just do that. It's kind of like, also, you can get around the liquor laws. It's kind of a known hack, and if they catch up to you, it might not get you out of it, but you can kind of do some things. If you keep it small, you can get away with this. Places will get around the liquor laws that say you have to have a license to sell liquor, by making it a members-only club, okay? And then, in order for you to be served liquor there, you have to be a member. Membership costs $5. And then you don't have to have a license because you're not selling liquor, you know, as a venue to the public. You're just serving liquor to the members of your club, and they can't make a law that says you're not allowed to serve, you know, liquor to people who are part of your club, you know, because then you couldn't have friends over and have drinks. So it's another little scam that gets you around the laws. I had cow milk straight from the cow. It has strong hay flavor. Really, Lofi-Loo? Yeah, I figured it would be kind of weird and disgusting. I don't know. Ich bin vegetariar, says Hoyo Stu. A guy called 5. Because you can't be a vegetarian-ish, because that would mean you don't... What? You can't be vegetarish? That would mean you don't contain meat. You're a vegetarian. So you're not vegetarian, you're a vegetarian. You're not vegetarian. You're a vegetarian. And I think it would probably be an vegetarian properly, a guy posts. If you're going to get into semantics here, the guy getting into semantics doesn't use the right article to be the separator. You're an vegetarian. Whom is the vegetarian here by, not who, whom. Alright, you can come over. You can do it. Get out of my way. We can use Paul using Dutch. It's easy to do. It's real easy to do. Check it out. When I came to the Zen Center, it was raw food, which made me a good chef in a hurry because, you know, limited resources. How do you make a salad taste good, and how do you make a salad taste different from the last salad when you're making your own dressings from pretty much scratch? And also, you know, we were making these because we weren't using processed foods. You know, our ingredients lists were things that you don't see in America. I mean, you see them nowadays. People have gotten, you know, more on board with them since more immigration from Mediterranean, Middle Eastern places. And since, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing to be from another place and be, I mean, it is to some people, but tahini, you know, I'd never had tahini before. You know what tahini is? It's buttered, creamified sesame seed. It's basically peanut butter. You know, they grind peanuts until it's just, you know, a butter. Same thing they do with tahini. It's sesame seeds just ground until it's a butter, an oily butter. Guy called by Cheering 5, Woordenjin moyek okepon, got echt helemaal nergens over qua linguisten in Nederland chichi and wat dan ook. Here, mate, how you doing? Yeah, let's go out and have some moose, eh? I don't know what I have to go. We'll see the VOD. Goodbye, Hoyo's streaming. In like 3 months. You'll see the VOD in 3 months. Okay, well, then... What's the future like, Hoyo's streaming? Leave a message on this video when you watch it back on Twitch, letting me know whether we're all still alive or not. Mazord Exelbirth cheered 5. The reason we pasteurized milk is to prevent the spread of diseases. When we finally learned about germs and bacteria, we started pasteurizing milk. As a result, greatly reduced the spread of E. coli, tuberculosis, brucellosis, salmonella, etc. It's true, and we also made milk basically not worth drinking. And since there's 50% of the population, you know, can't really process the thing is, like, they use, I don't know if it's somehow cheaper, to breed or maintain livestock. Like, there's a certain kind of cow that, the milk from which a lot of people cannot process. And then there's another type of cow that is similar to, the milk that it produces is similar to goat's milk. And most people can process it. And you'd say, well, why don't they breed that cow? And I would say, yeah, why don't they? I don't get it. I don't get it. There's two different kinds of cows, and maybe it's like the other kind of cow produces way more milk. Oh, I'll bet that's it. I'll bet it's a volume thing. So cows with a certain, you know, genetic line produce a whole bunch of milk that, you know, you can't really digest. But, hey, more milk to sell. These people are idiots. They don't know they can't digest it. They don't know why they're just pooping a river, why they're just sort of leaking out of their ass. They don't know. Why they're getting sick and whatnot. I know I'm getting tired. Alright. I'm coming into a town. Surely there's a motel where I can get a whore and a nap. Yeah, I see one now. A whore, not a nap. Boo, says Hoyos. Suddenly I'm on YouTube. Hello, Hoyos videos. Welcome back. How's our future? Did it work out for us, or are we all dead? I watched the VODs on YouTube. So sorry, Pawn. Well, as long as I get to know, did they fire the nukes? Did they launch them or not? Pure 5. Why don't they sell one milk in preference for the other? Capitalism, says Major Dexter. Yeah. Oh wait, go right. Go right. I gotta hit this brothel. I mean, hotel. Motel. Hit this. Gotta hit this real quick. You know what I mean? No. Yeah, so I keep, like, this is just how we do, isn't it? This is how I do. I'm just, you know, king of the tangents, but I do eventually remember to come back to what I was talking about. So, it was raw food. I learned to cook in a great big hurry. Tahini, because we were using raw food. You want to talk about some dates, baby? I know I'm getting tired. Please stop telling me I'm getting tired and blocking my view of where it is that I can sleep. Asshole. Zoom in. No, it's straight through, isn't it? Straight through and then a left? We would process our own dates for, is this a parking lot or something? Effing no, I can't see a damn thing, it's so dark. Hey! Yeah, just park it, you know, wherever I happen to be and take a nap. We didn't use raw sugar, because sugar is a processed food. We didn't use, salt. Did we, at all? No, we didn't use salt at all. Which I think was a bad idea, honestly. You know, sodium is, you can get too much of it. The idea is that if you're eating a good diet, and you're getting, like, raw vegetables and stuff like that, there should be enough sodium in natural raw foods, just because they came from the earth, and the earth is salted. You know, wherewith shall the salt be salted if the earth of the salts and the... This is a Bible quote. Anyway, wherewith shall the salt be salted if the salt of the earth has lost its savor? Something like that. So, yeah, we didn't take salt, and I don't think that that was a good idea, because it's kind of hard to get all the salt you need from plant-based foods. I mean, it's supposed to be there, but, you know... I think, like, a little bit, I don't think you should be so afraid of sodium. I mean, yeah, everybody gets way too much, but when you're eating a friggin' raw food diet in a Buddhist monastery, I think you could use some salt. I think it would manage. But so we didn't take any salt, which also, there's another concern with that. Iodine. Where do you get your iodine? Because you're supposed to get some iodine, and I don't know where or if that occurs naturally in any food, if you don't have any salt in it. Does iodine occur naturally in raw plants and stuff like that? I don't think so, but you got to get a little bit of it. So, you know, in salt, if you buy the right stuff, it'll be iodized salt, so that you're getting a value of iodine that you need. I don't know where that was, you know, coming from. And honestly, I did have health issues when I was in the Zen Center, and my chronic fatigue syndrome the first instance that I ever had of it started while I was in the Zen Center, and one of my first, like, suspicions, one of the first things I tried with was, maybe I'm not getting enough salt, you know? Maybe I didn't get enough sodium, maybe I didn't get enough iodine, so I added salt back to my diet just to see if that would help. It did. And then another thing was, because I was working in our basement kitchen all day at the Zen Center, I started, I figured, you know, vitamin D. I'm not getting sunlight, we're not drinking cow's milk, we're not taking processed food, and a lot of processed food, you know, what happens these days is that things are injected with the nutrients that we know human beings need, because, you know, you process the food and you basically kill off everything of value that's in it naturally. So then you just, you know, shove it back in there, and a lot of the vitamin D that we get, we don't really get it naturally. We get it because it was, you know, put there because the people making the food know that it needs to be there. On that raw diet, I don't know where I was getting my vitamin D from, but certainly not the sunlight, because I was living life in a basement. So then I started taking vitamin D capsules, you know, when my chronic fatigue syndrome became an issue. And that didn't help either. That didn't help either. So, that's why we think it's chronic fatigue, because I have experimented with my own diet, and at the time that my symptoms came on, I was eating one of the most healthy diet. I was eating basically the most scientifically nutritional, nutrient diet that human beings are aware of. So, I don't know what I could have been doing better. Salt is the reason we watch Pawn play some games. God, I love salt, says pretty much everybody. And iron, without it you will get sick, says Mason. Yeah. Yeah, and B12. There's a lot of stuff that you can, you know, miss when you're not eating meat and you're not getting like a, you know, a vegan diet, and then also avoiding processed foods. Because if you're eating like a vegan diet, but you're still eating processed foods, I've made my own cat food before. We had a cat who got hit by a car, and I was nursing him back to health. So instead of feeding him crap from the store, I made my own cat food. In the process of making my own cat food from, you know, tilapia and eggs and ground stuff, I, you know, looked up what the FDA says that you're supposed to put in pet food. And what I realized while I was making my own cat food is that they make food for us the same way that they make food for dogs. The FDA, you know, says dog food should have these things in it, and then no matter what brand dog food you buy, it all has all those things in it, and then it's got something else. And a lot of the food that we get that's heavily processed kind of undergoes a similar process, if you ask me. You know, they just kind of, because it's processed food, they just inject all the stuff that the government tells them should be there. Who needs nutritional value when you can have taste, says a guy called by. I don't know, but I was eating, you know, one of the most healthful diets that mankind has ever known, I think. I mean, it was the premise of it when I was in the Zen Center, when I had my first chronic fatigue syndrome, and that was near the end of my stay at the Zen Center. We had switched from being just a raw food diet to nutritarian, okay, which was an improvement on raw food, based on a doctor, Dr. Joel Furman, who had basically done recursive studies. So just taken data that pre-existed around nutrition and tried to basically figure out what is ideal for a human mammal. What's the best possible thing, best possible diet for us to eat for, you know, increased health and lifespan and longevity. So scientifically, he tried to figure out like what was absolutely best. And there's all this research about like which foods will reduce the likelihood of cancer by 25-30%, certain types of cancers. Mushrooms, for example, contain an enzyme that has a tendency to like stem the production of new cells, which is a good thing in terms of getting cancer, because, you know, cancer is just a whole bunch of new cells being produced. So having like a single large mushroom a day reduces the risk of many forms of cancer by 30%. So his diet was built on, you know, research like that. It is where I picked up the little anecdotal piece of information that if you eat raw nuts and seeds in your diet, not cooked nuts and seeds, raw nuts and seeds, not processed, in your diet, then at least for vegetarians, the study was on Seventh-day Adventists, whose religion means that they are pretty much by default vegetarians. So it studied them, and it looked within the group of people who were constantly religiously vegetarian, and looked for differences in their diets, and found a difference in those who ate raw nuts and seeds and those who didn't. Those who ate raw nuts and seeds lived, on average, 7 years longer lifespan than those who didn't. On average. And whenever you hear somebody say on average, you know, bear in mind that that means at the high end of 7 years on average, some people were living like 15 years longer than everybody else, and then some people got in car accidents or whatever. No, but some people just, you know, they died before the control group, so to speak. But that means other people were living like 15 years longer in order to average that out to 7 years longer, and the only notable difference in their diets was raw nuts and seeds. So if you want a chance to live up to 7 years longer, which I often joke, you know, maybe I don't want to live another 7 years. Sounds like a lot of life. I've already had more than my fair share. The fact that you live 7 years longer probably means that a larger majority, you know, a larger portion of your life is in health and strength as well. So, little piece of information, scientific fact, that you might want to integrate into your lifestyle regardless of how you eat. If you add raw nuts and seeds to it, it can't hurt. There's something in raw nuts and seeds that's really fucking good for human beings, apparently. Hooves and snouts, says Jermaine. What is it? Lips and assholes. That's what I like. Round up some lips and assholes, pack them into a cylinder, slap it into a bun that isn't really even bread. Look at the ingredients on like a hot dog bun. Pack of hot dog buns, because those things last pretty much as long as Twinkies do. They're going to survive the nuclear holocaust, baby. Those buns, and they're so soft. They stay so soft permanently. They never get stale. They never get any bacteria grow. They don't mold. How do they do that? Well, they're not bread. They just look like it. Oh, Parallel just subscribed. He sneezes and says, a half year already and my bank still gets mad at me for making shit. I couldn't read it. Thank you, Parallel, for the subscription. We need to take a break and go to the... I'm riding one wheel for you, Parallel. This is for you. That and all of the pawns that are going to go in chat right now. Damn it. You guys are slow on the uptake. Some pawns in chat. We need to take a live stream break anyway, so I will check your message in the live stream break and see what you wrote there. Thank you so much for the subscription and for the support. I hope that you live 7 years longer, and I've got a great method for you to do so. Buy my new book today, explaining the diet that... Oh, shit! I'm good. I almost missed that turning. Thank you, Mage Lord Exelworth. These pawns are for you. Oh, you can't see them. This whole live stream, I keep pointing over to chat as though it's there, and it ain't. It definitely ain't. How close are we to our destination? This was not supposed to be a long trip. If I zoom out and zoom out, yeah, you know what? Stop here. We need to have ourselves a live stream break. We've been going for an hour. Did it! Says Mason. I want to keep talking nutrition. I want to keep talking about Zen Center and learning to be a chef. This is so... I love it when you get into like a topic that I can't get to the other side of, because it just means that, you know, go like 2 feet into talking and then there's a wonderful little tangent, and you come back and it's okay, back at the beginning, and then 2, 3 feet and then another little tangent. That's my favorite. It's my favorite way of doing things. Cheer 70. Parallel cheering 70. Pawns from my brother doesn't count. What? And the rest of chat is a bunch of nerds. What? Pawns from my brother don't count, and the rest of chat is a bunch of nerds. Because Mage Lord Exelberth is the only one who put out... See? It's here. Now I see it. Now I can point at it. You're all a bunch of nerds. I agree. You're a nerd too, Parrotlow. You know, in a less dickish fashion than the rest of the nerds who won't post pawns in chat. Problem is, you have to be subscribers, so, you know, I guess you just have to give me $5 so that you can be less of a dickish nerd. So get on that. Well, I'm too poor to afford pawns, says the secret to every pony. Well, get on that. Get out there and, like, you know, work the crowd or something. I mean, panhandling. People make money, good money off of that. Figure it out and get me my money. We'll be back in 7 minutes after this live stream break with more American Truck Simulator and how I became a chef.
And the Georgia pines and dandelions are bobbing in the careless summer breeze. Sunshine skipping on the sidewalk. Sunshine not as bright as you. When you shattered free, you blinded me, and now I'm seeing stars around my head. And it's all I know. You're the afterglow that never fades. Tadpole squiggle in the water. Tadpole dancing toward the light. From a pollywog into a frog in 20 seconds flat. Well, how about that? Mayfly skimming on the water. Mayfly only for the day. And if love is just a fleeting whim, then why is it you never dimmed away? And it's all I know. You're the afterglow that never fades. After all these years of living in your shadow, after all these years of bathing in your light, shining like the sun. But I never try to close my eyes. I never want to hide you in the dark. Oh, and it's all I know. You're the afterglow that never fades. So just take
I'm the Ronin Pawn, and welcome back to twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn live stream on twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn. Sorry I'm late, I had to take a number 3. You know what I mean. If you do, you're disgusting. What's wrong with you? Hello, Cavoodle. Stream started an hour early, says the Seek to Every Pony. In your neck of the... near your places where you keep things. You're number 3. Welcome back to the live stream. Pawn just jerked it. No, that's not what I... No, it's number 3 is... Your number 3s are dirtier than my number 3s. Hello, Zorglob. How you doing? Thank you for the cheer. We're talking nutrition, apparently. I'm just talking about, like, you know... I don't know how we got here. I do know how we got here. I think it was Pony, actually. Said, should do a cooking show. And he was making a joke, and I was like, I do. I want to do a cooking show. And I learned to cook in the Zen Center. I'm not a bad chef. I learned all my spices. Because as I was saying, when you're, you know, raw vegetarian, vegan, nutritarian diet, and you got this diet that limits the things that you sort of have to cook with, you figure out the spices real damn quick. And yeah, we used tahini, which is sesame seed butter. We used raw dates as our sweetener because we weren't adding sugar. So, like, we did basically life at the Zen Center and cooking at the Zen Center revolved around Vitamixes, which are these professional grade high power blenders. And basically every single day I was there involved a Vitamix. Several times, in fact. I wouldn't even just say at least once a day. No, at least like 3 to 6 times a day. Because we were running a commercial kitchen, and we made all of our dressings and things for our salads, and kale chips is what they still make at the Zen Center and sell them. We made the dressings for that and everything in the Vitamix, and then we go and make our own salad dressings for the salads that we're eating. Well, that's going in the Vitamix. Vitamixes were constantly running. We had 2 of the damn things, and they've gotten cheaper and more common now, but I'm pretty sure when the Zen Center got their Vitamixes, they were pretty exclusive items and weren't being bought by as many people. So I'm guessing that they paid like $400 or $500 a pair, or, you know, each for the Vitamixes, because they would go through anything. We made our own cashew butter. Throw a bunch of cashews, professional grade, high power benders. This is Zorglov. Professional grade, high power blenders. Get yours today. Comes with this free toaster oven. It's a parting gift for you. Yeah, they would go through friggin' anything. We'd make our own cashew butter by just throwing cashews in the Vitamix, turning it on, and walking away for 3 to 5 minutes. And you come back and you've got yourself butter made from the nut of the cashew. Yeah, what else did I make? Did we make our own almond butter? I remember there being a process whereby I had to strain the water out of something in order to... I learned how to cook, I'll tell you that. I learned how to cook. And not with, like, fire either. That's the interesting part about it, is I learned how to cook alright, but it wasn't like, you know, chefing in the conventional way. We didn't fire up the burners on the oven very often for, you know, while I was there until the last year when our diet moved to nutritarianism, which involved some cooked foods and added some new nutrient sources to our otherwise raw diet where everything was vegetable and plant-based. It added beans, which you couldn't eat in a raw food diet because you'd have to cook them, right? Well, that's the only way body's gonna digest a bean is to cook it. So there's a lot of health benefits to eating beans. A lot of health benefits to eating beans. So once we found out about that, that involved beans, and then I got used to, you know, cooking beans. And I'll tell you what, I have a cupboard full of beans right now because I'm so used to cooking beans. I rarely ever cook them. I basically have to be to that point where you need to go grocery shopping. That you've literally gone through everything that could be considered food in the house. And then I will start cooking up some beans. Because you gotta either soak them overnight, 24 hours, or you gotta flash boil them. And then the flash boiling just supplants for the 24 hours cooking that you didn't do if you didn't do it. Which means after that's done, you have to then simmer them for hours. Hours! And the thing is, with beans, you never know when they're done. Like, you can't just set them and go, okay, that's a, you know, these are pinto beans, those are black beans, so they'll take an hour and a half at, you know, this much temperature. That's not how beans work. Beans are fickle. They're finicky. They're really hard to go to bed with you. You gotta put a lot of vodka in them and buy them expensive jewelry. Beans, they don't just, you know, roll over in bed and let you do whatever you want. You've got to court a bean, because it depends entirely with beans how long they've been, you know, dried, how long they've been sitting around. And because beans are stapled, they sit around for a very, 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 very long time before you ever get a hold of them. So if those beans have been sitting around for like 8 years, which is entirely possible with beans, and you go to boil them, you go to cook them, soak them for 24 hours, that's fine, they'll take on a lot of water, but they will not be cooked for like 3 hours if you're cooking them the way that you're supposed to cook beans. And if you cook them too fast, if you just apply a whole bunch of heat to them, they're gonna have things in them that make you toot. They're gonna produce a lot of gas when you're in your entrails. This is the best live stream ever. Talking about going number 3 and the gases that you get from eating quick cooked pinto beans. Boy. Just, have you got your snacks pie? Have I disgusted you yet? They are expensive, especially the professional one. 3,000 easy, Sister Macy. Oh, really? Like the super high quality professional one? Because now you can get a Vitamix for like $200, I think, 200, 250 bucks. But those blenders, you know, I'm pretty sure they've created a version for the retail market on the heels of, you know, we had a nutritional revolution that, you know, I don't think people really noticed, or, I mean, they noticed because we all took part of it to some extent, but it's kind of like we didn't even notice it. We don't give ourselves enough credit. We had a nutritional revolution, people. Who would have thought that was going to happen? Wait a second. A lot of cooking takes hours to do, probably why fast food joints have become so pervasive in our society since Major Lord Exeter. Yeah, and I just can't deal with 3 hours on top of 24-hour prep time to make beans. I'm running out of fuel. Well, there's a gas station right there, and I can get off and get to it. I'm moving over on you. Make way! Ronan Pawn! Getting off! Just to hit this one gas station. Wow. Does this actually exist? Like, anywhere on a highway where you just get off and... No, there's supposed to be a road going that way. It's just the map. It looks on the map like they just made an off-ramp for a gas station. I wonder if that does exist anymore. The guy called Pie is working on the snacks. He's getting them ready. I'll get my best story about beans and farting in number 3. Danny! 11! Thank you for the follow! Welcome to the stream! The hell was I saying about beans and vomiting or something? What was this? Okay, E, and then enter to refill. Circa 15 minutes. Alright, I'll try and save my grossest stuff for then. Pie, just when it's coming out the oven. Yeah, so I don't make my beans very often. I wait until I basically have no choice but to make my beans, and then I'll make my beans. But here's the thing. All I need is a pressure cooker. Because at the Zen Center, when we started making beans, you know, that whole leaving them on the oven for hours thing, and then having to check them, you know, every, like, half an hour after you think they might be done, and not knowing. What? I don't want to sleep. I want to be able to see my goddamn map. Thank you. GPS. Oh, I couldn't have gone that way anyway. It's blocked off. I didn't know. Ah! Where's the road? It's mainly ahead of you. Oh, good. Something? It's beans and, God, I'm so easily distracted. This chronic fatigue syndrome, brain fog stuff it's getting serious, people. It's getting serious. I can't keep my mind on any one thing for very long. Not that I ever was good at that. But it's getting worse. All I need is a pressure cooker, because at the Zen Center, we got real tired of having to deal with the beans as well. And we got ourselves a pressure cooker. And, you know, pressure cookers have that history that people are familiar with, the history of pressure cookers being, you know, a good thing to make a bomb out of, because you can accidentally blow them up on your own stovetop. You can cook something and then think that it's safe to open your pressure cooker, that the pressure has been relieved, and it isn't, and you open it up, and suddenly boiling hot, whatever you just cooked, sludge of beans, or, you know, with what other people make out of it, you know, chipped beef and stuff like that, just all over you when it explodes open when you take the top off. So there's a good reason to be afraid of pressure cookers. I never was. I was very comfortable with the pressure cooker. I learned the rules of it. I learned how it works. I learned how to be safe with it, and it was my best friend in the kitchen, because I had just lived through the hell of living in a world where beans had to be, you know, 3 hours on the stovetop. Often, like, that's the minimum. And then you get a pressure cooker, you throw the beans in there, they're just like anything else you might want to cook. 20 minutes, max. 25, max. But it was really quick. Tier 5, the crackling is starting. Crackling's back, says everybody. Okay. Crackle, crackle, son of... just give me a second. I gotta close Reaper. Yeah, save. It's a software issue, which is amazing that we would have a software issue crackling. Software. The software. I think it's with ASIO for all. I think I know where it's coming from. Not exactly sure what to do with it. Do about it. We're good now? We're good? Because that's what helped it last time. I restart the application and then it's gone. Yeah, so pressure cooker. Highly recommend one, but just know what you're doing. Know what you're doing when you get it. Read the manual, and then behave as though you're afraid of it for a while. And get comfortable with it. I mean, always behave as though you're afraid of it, because, you know, it's literally a thing you can make a bomb out of very easily. Hi! Hello! So, drug raid? Why is there a... Maybe that's the news. News reporting on accident on whatever this road is, in wherever we are. More at 11. I hope there will be more at 11. What's that about? What happened? I don't know. There's an accident somewhere. That'd be a good bit, actually. You could turn that into something funny on YouTube. Just like cut into your own show. You know, whatever show you're putting together on YouTube, do a break, you know, action news, breaking news, and then break in. There's been an accident on a highway somewhere. People may be injured or not. We're not sure. We'll tell you more when we hear. We now return to you, to your regular broadcast. Tier 100. Software causing crackling is the strangest thing I've ever heard of. How do you do it, Pawn? How do you attract all these weird glitches in everything software and gaming? I don't know, but I'm telling you, somebody needs to like, start a business that is, you know, beta testing, professional beta testers. And then you start the business, you negotiate with the company, and then you don't have to have, like, a staff of employees. Just send it to me, I'll find all the shit. Not because I want to, either. Not because I want to. I'm a magnet for these issues. Yeah, I highly recommend, if you're going to be cooking these, I highly recommend for anybody. Ooh, I get to bypass the way station. You know, one, learn to cook. Don't live your life being subject to the processed food hell that we live in. It's just gonna kill you. It's just gonna kill you. So learn to cook and get yourself a pressure cooker. Because, you know, it makes it exciting. Trying to, like, jazz things up, you know. I don't want to learn to cook, seems kind of boring to me. Does it? Am I supposed to get off here? You are, thank God. Cooking, Well, what if I told you that there was a possibility that you could explode yourself while cooking? Well, now I'm interested. Yeah. Okay. Pressure cooker. But, yeah, I just recalled what we were talking about earlier, which is that we had a nutrition revolution. I don't know if it was global, but certainly over here, and I assume whatever's happening over here is happening, you know, to some extent elsewhere also. You know, the kale revolution. Everybody was on about kale. Kale was a huge thing. Kale is one of the most nutrient-dense packed, like, leafy vegetables that you can possibly get. And everybody was taking kale, and people started getting smoothies more often, and not just like, you know, hey, we put a bunch of fruity, sugary stuff in a cup here and blended it up. You want a smoothie? No, smoothies that were green smoothies that were good for you. People drinking carrot juice and stuff like that. It became pop culture for a hot minute. I don't know if it still is, or how much that trend has carried over to how people actually, you know, eat and live their lives now. But the fact that it came in and that it was popular and that a lot of people were doing it, I assume a lot of people are still doing it. It's usually how diets go. Once you open yourself up to something, you don't usually, you know, just throw it out completely. And we do need to give ourselves some credit for that, because it's the kind of thing that, you know, don't really acknowledge that much. Hey, we did a good. We had a pop culture thing that was actually good for us. Yeah, you know, wasn't just a bunch of reasons for people to sell plastic tap to each other. It's actually something positive. Huh. Well, let's give ourselves some credit. Cooking is Zen, says Grandmother. Everything's Zen. Everything's Zen. I don't think so. Everything's Zen. Everything's Zen. How do I gotta... You need to twist more in that direction? Yeah, you need to turn a little bit harder there. You just see it in that side view mirror over there. Head back there. Tier 5, we had a period where people remembered this thing called nutrition exists in foods that you can't find at McDonald's. Says and McDonald's started adding like a whole bunch of things that were supposedly nutritious to their menu. You know? Started selling more salads and whatnot. Now that said, in the realm of fast food, I am screwed, you know? If I want to be a vegetarian and occasionally have some fast food because it is convenient, because I'm in a situation, so few places where I can get anything at all. Like Taco Bell is about the best that I've got for me. Yeah, I know I'm gonna hit it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm good. Just gonna lick it as I pay. Okay, I might have bumped it there. Oh, crap. I turned too hard. Taco Bell is about all I got, because even Wendy's, and Wendy's is some good stuff in terms of, like, having fresh veggies, and, you know, their meat is fresh and, you know, never frozen is how they advertise it anyway. I don't know if it is or not. The hell do I care? But, you know, Wendy's, you'd think, at least you can get, like, a salad there, surely. Wendy's is pretty good for salads. Wendy's doesn't do salads that aren't chicken. I mean, I'm sure I could ask for a salad. That's the thing. You say, well, vegetarian, you can always just get a salad anywhere you go. If they don't have it on the menu, you can just order it. If you've ever tried to do that, then you would know how that works out for you. When you order dishes that a place has designed to have meat in it, and say, just take the meat out, please, it is bland and terrible, because they planned for the flavor to be the meat, you know? Somebody goes and gets a chicken salad at Wendy's. The only reason that salad is at all interesting to the tongue is because of the chicken. They're not trying to make a salad for a vegetarian. They're making a salad for a meat eater. And, you know, as an aficionado of salads, because I have eaten more than most people will in their lives at the Zen Center, I can tell you the difference between a good salad and a bad salad. And nobody knows how to make a salad. There's not a restaurant, there's not a fast food restaurant, certainly, that makes a good salad. They rely exclusively on having beef or chicken or something in there. Hello, Victor James! I guess? Welcome to YouTube side of chat. Salads are less healthy for you than the Big Macs, says Mage Lord Exelberth. Oh yeah, are they? Oh, I do remember that, Mage Lord Exelberth. Yeah, because, I mean, if you put the, you know, giant pack of Paul Newman's ranch dressing on it, you know how much fat is in there? You know how much oil is in the dressing that you get? And do you recognize that any oil, I don't care what kind of oil it is, since we did have this nutrition revolution, people started, like, getting into, you know, I'm doing walnut oil now, and it's so much better, it's so much healthier. I don't care what kind of oil you get. It is, by definition, 120 calories of pure fat per teaspoon. Surely I've got a teaspoon here. Oh my god, I've done the dishes. When did that happen? Teaspoon! 120 pure fat per teaspoon. I don't care. No, it's the best olive oil you can get. It's pure fat. The point is that it's been rendered to fat. If you want olive oil for the olive, get an olive. There will be oil in it. There's nothing left of the olive in olive oil. A little bit of the waft, the scent of it. It's been processed to pure fat. It is liquid fat. When you put it into your body, 120 calories will go in, and then because it's already liquid, 3 of those calories is all your body burns in order to stick it to your body for later. So 117 calories per teaspoon of oil just turns into visual, like, you can see it's the fat that hangs off of you. When they cut into your fat, you know, for the autopsy when you're dead, they're gonna go, oh look, he ate walnut fat. That didn't make a damn bit of difference. Snack ETA is now 12 minutes. Thank you for keeping me up to date. A guy called by. Just leave it to McDonald's to make a healthy food item and make it worse for you than the unhealthy food items they already offer. Shocking, isn't it? I mean, doesn't McDonald's, like, put sugar into their beef and stuff like that? I assume. I mean, the whole business model of McDonald's is, use sugar and salt at addictive levels. And that's it. That's all they're doing. That's the whole business, the whole operation. Don't tell me that you don't send me back into New Mexico from here. You bastards, I only came here because it was still nearish to New Mexico. I want to be exploring New Mexico. I don't want to be exploring Arizona. No one sent me an Arizona DLC pack. You pricks. We're taking beverages to Camp Verde. At least I'll be discovering a new place. Apparently I've never been to Camp Verde, and I'll still be nearish. Tier 5. No one knows what zest is anymore, says Parallel. Where you, with the lemon, and you shave a little bit off. Why the hell did I pay £4 to Amazon last week, says a guy called Pie. Did you buy walnut oil? I'm sorry, it's a scam. Tier 100. Oil is oil, says Parallel. Also, saturated fat is just as fine as unsaturated fat. They both break down into the exact same thing. Just avoid trans fats, because that's the one that's a whole different chemical compound that doesn't break down right. Yes, Parallel, am I right? Have you heard this too? Am I right that trans fats are basically a molecule away from being plastic? Have you heard that? Is that common knowledge? A guy called by Turing 5, can someone tell me why Amazon is charging me €4 on the 8th of each month? Why wouldn't they? I mean, if they can get away with it. If you're not checking your bill, I don't know. €4 each month, why would... You know, you can get Amazon Prime by the month as opposed to by the year, and it's $10 per year. That's about €4 now with the devaluation of the dollar, right? No, Paul. The dollar's a little bit stronger than that. Just a little, though. I can't believe it's like 3/4 of a pound, the dollar. 75 cents, or something like that, as traded across the pound. Just, you know, you guys want me to come visit you. Well, you're gonna have to devalue your currency a little bit, because I can't afford to hang out with you guys. You go out and drop a tenner, and it's just a tenner to you. To me, it's like $15. Can't do that. Oh, look out. Managed to squeeze out there. Alright, we're going to pick up our beverages, which is, you know, they're just churching up the fact that we're going to carry some liquor, Arizona or something. Oh, crap, there's been a bunch of chats, and I want to read them all, but I also, you know, need to drive and pay attention. I think I'll just read them all. At least my online banking allows me to undo the payment immediately, says a guy called Mike. Well, good for you. You just click a button, and they pay the money back to you, no questions asked. Really? Why do you pay for anything, then? Just keep clicking, man. We'll make a mint! Send me a new computer. I thought that was margarine that was a molecule away from plastic. Oh, is it, Major Exelbirth? Is it? Or... That sounds familiar, too. What was Olestra? Wasn't that actually plastic or something? It was just like, diarrhea juice. They were selling chips and like, hey, instead of the oil, try Olestra. And it just made everybody's entrails just explode out, invert themselves, and I don't know. Are your snacks in yet, Pi? I saved the dirtiest, the most disgusting part of the conversation for when you had the snacks. Hopefully you're eating. Has been for ages, something like that in 2008. Something. What? Wait, what was? Amazon? Amazon, you can buy it by the month? Is that what you're talking about? Super cheap to buy stuff in America if you're European in 2000. Oh, are you talking about the currency values? Yes. Yes. Something, yes. Margarine is a brick of trans fat, says Parallel. Oh, well, there you go. So it's margarine that is a molecule off because it's trans fat, so it's a molecule off of being plastic. Ah, we're putting the pieces together. Subway is probably good for your needs, says Grandma Aubrey. Yeah, actually, Subway is... Except for that Subway doesn't taste good. Subway is at least food that I can stop and get. For a minute there, they had a veggie patty, and that was alright. And then, because that was alright and tasted good and was nice food, they got rid of it. So now it's just, even Subway, it's like... You know, their ingredients are built around making meat sandwiches, just to be honest. They don't... When your options are, okay, you can have either spinach or iceberg. Well, spinach, obviously, because there's no nutritional value to iceberg. Okay? Do you want, like, banana peppers? Like, they don't have anything. They've got a lot of stuff that's, like, really good for, you know, throwing on something else to give it, you know, better flavor, to draw out the flavor of something else. But there's no meat to the vegetarian dishes. Which, you'd say, well, that's intentional. But, you know what I mean? There's no... Like, what they should have is some kind of beans or something to go with it. That's what I'd say. Some kind of bean something. Or, okay, what if you did a vegetarian patty and didn't get rid of it? And the vegetarian patty could be made of, like, beans and tofu and something like that, you know? Maybe you could do something like that. Something to give it flavor and not just be, hey, we threw all the, you know, basically condiment vegetables that we keep around for the meat sandwiches onto a giant piece of bread. You're basically just eating a giant loaf of bread. It's Subway. It's a little bit better than that. I used to do Subway for a while. Then I realized, why am I eating this? It's flavorless. Awful. I guess that was also because, again, you go to Subway, and the only way to, like, make it taste good is to drown it in a bunch of dressings or sauces and that kind of thing. And I was trying to eat healthy, so I would be like, just give me, vinegar. Just give me vinegar on it, which I developed a big taste for, like, apple cider vinegars, that kind of stuff. So just give me the vinegar on it. And, you know, it just... If you're going to use vinegar as a sauce, you have to have something that accommodates that. You put a bunch of banana peppers with a vinegar base, it becomes really acrid. You know, it's too tangy. I need, you know, vegetarian restaurants that are vegetarian restaurants, or just a place where, like, these guys, they sit around, these companies do a lot of work to prepare their menus and figure out what's going to be, you know, what everybody's going to agree is good, because they want to serve to the broadest, you know, common denominator of people. And it's like, if you're going to have vegetarian options, could you not get some vegetarian chefs together at the corporate office and sit down and go, what have we got on hand, and how do we make it into something that's actually pleasurable to eat? Because it doesn't seem like they've done that to me. It doesn't seem like anybody's done that. When they have a vegetarian option, it's just they took the crap that they had around for accompanying the beef, and they put it on the menu. Oh, Pie's still making his food, damn it. Why it doesn't melt at room temperature, says Parad Love. Oh, the margarine? Margarine doesn't melt at room temperature because it's basically plastic? Butter that doesn't melt at room temperature is a block of trans fat, which is its only selling gimmick. But the thing that keeps it from melting also keeps it from breaking down in your stomach correctly. Jesus, am I buying margarine too? It's Scar-tastic! Welcome to the stream, thanks for the follow. It is Scar-tastic. I'm guessing that it's Car-tastic. No. It's Scar-tastic. Oh, crap. You're just a big fan of The Lion King, right? It's Scar-tastic! My favorite character. Subway, eat food that's been sitting at just below room temperature for 20 hours that you get overcharged for, says Parallel. Yeah, that's another thing, too. And also, I don't know if you guys have heard Aaron Hansen of the Game Grumps go off on Subway. On the experience of visiting Subway, but I completely agree. The idea of, like, having, you know, sandwich artisans, it sounds better on paper than what it becomes. You know, the amount of time that you spend standing there having to tell somebody which bread you want over and over again because they've got like 3 people and they're making 2 sandwiches at once, and then there's a guy behind them and they're pulling the one out and they're like, what do you want? What kind of bread? And they ask you while they're doing something else and you tell them, and then 15 seconds later they get done with what they're doing and they're like, sorry, what kind of bread again? 6-inch or foot long? I already told you both of those things. Okay, you want it toasted? You want any cheese? What kinds of cheese have you got? It's right there on the glass. You know it isn't, because it's peeled off over the years. Oh, well, we got that and the other. Just takes hours to get a friggin' Subway order out. If there are 3 people ahead of you in line at Subway, that's your lunch hour. And you're not even going to have the food. You're going to have to take it back to your desk at work by the time you get that fucking sandwich made. I've had good experiences at good Subways, but they are the rare exceptions where somebody, you know, who cares about the business they've made, the manager, like, trains the people, as opposed to just sticking them there and saying, you know, ask them if what they want, and then put it all in the sandwich, and then if they want it toasted, put it in this machine, press the button, it will beep at you when it's done, take it out. It seems so simple that they don't really train people to do the job right, and then, yeah, if there's 3 people ahead of you, that's 45 minutes right there that you're going to be standing at your fast food Subway restaurant, waiting to get your, you know, sitting on the counter at just a little bit below room temperature. You know what scares me at Subway? The, avocado kind of scares me at Subway. And I think rightly. I'm pretty sure that it should scare you at Subway, because whatever they've got in that avocado dip that they got there, it's not quite guacamole. It's been turned into a guacamole, but it's not quite guacamole. Whatever they've got in there, they leave the stuff just sitting out at room temperature. Have you ever cut an avocado open? Because you've got about 3 minutes before it starts to brown, as soon as it hits the air, before it starts to spoil and turn nasty, if you don't immediately refrigerate it. And yet somehow they've got this whipped up mixed avocado stuff that isn't quite guacamole, and it's sitting at basically room temperature, but it's not browning on top. What's in that avocado? I'm guessing a lot of green food coloring, and none of it is avocado, because that's just not how they fucking work. I feel the new steak wrap is worth the price I paid for it, says Major Lord Exilbirth. Well, good for you and your meat. You know, that's the thing. The meatball sandwiches and stuff. Those look delicious. You know, I would totally kill a meatball sandwich if I were eating meat. In fact, maybe I'll go and have one, because I'm not vegetarian, like, you know, I'm not trying to save the fucking whales over here. Yeah, I'll eat meat. I'll have pepperoni on my pizza. I buy tuna regularly. I eat tuna. That's where I get my, you know, meat from. So, because I like a little bit of mercury with my B12. But I'm not so stuck up about it. It's just, you know, I eat the way I do for nutrition's sake, and honestly, also out of convenience. It's the way that I've been eating for a while, and I like it. I like it. I honestly wouldn't know quite what to do if I started trying to cook meat the way that I cook in my kitchen. You know, I cook from scratch a lot, and I don't have a lot of experience with cooking meat, so I'd probably end up giving myself food poisoning, you know? Is it supposed to be pink in the middle? Yeah, it's fine. It's just rare. Oh, okay. I usually get it when it's not busy. You get a better sandwich that way, says Made Short Eggs and Birth. Yeah, it's just, it's a bad idea. Like, it's a good idea on paper. It's a bad idea the way it plays out. They've only ever got, like, 2 sandwich makers, if they've got 2 sandwich makers, and it takes so long to ask people, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? It's not fast food. One sandwich takes like 6 to 7 minutes to make per sandwich. So if you're the second guy in line, then they don't start making your sandwich until 7 minutes has passed. You don't get it until 14 minutes have passed. If you're third in the line, it's just it doesn't work out as well as it must have on paper for them to have built a business around it. And then, you know, it didn't help many having what did Jared turn out to be? Like, child molester, or got, like, caught masturbating with Pee Wee Herman in a... What happened? What was it? It turned out about Jared. I mean, other than that, he was a douchebag. Just a dick. Wasn't there some controversy that was pretty nasty? Make them add tons of peppers and onions, says Greg Aubrey. That's basically what I do to try and make it taste good, but it's still just... It's, you know... There's nothing to it. The free Jared childcare is a bonus, says Brent Geary. You were on top of that before I got to it. The whales are doomed anyway, better nuke them out of mercy. Back with Snacks is a guy called Pie. Oh, we were just talking about slaughtering the whales. Meat costs too much. I stick to chicken in a slow cooker. You know, that's weird that you say that way. You know, meat costs too much, so I stick to chicken. Like, chicken isn't meat. Because my grandma, like, totally believes that chicken isn't meat. You know? I've told her that I'm vegetarian, but if she makes me something, I just eat it. You know, she's old, screw it. She made me something. I made a chicken salad. You're vegetarian, right? So you can have... Yeah, okay, Grandma. But my mom gets way more pissed off, you know, because she's her daughter. And she gets way more pissed off about that because she's, you know, she tells my grandma, he's a vegetarian, he doesn't eat that stuff. And she's like, but it's chicken. And it really pisses my mom off. I just think it's funny. It really pisses her off. But yeah, so my mom's constantly telling her that stuff. But she's, yeah, my grandma totally apparently believes that chicken isn't meat somehow. Child molester or child porn. It was one of the two. Yeah, something like that. Something to do with kid touching. We'll just go with that. Close enough. I'm sure Jared doesn't agree. Child porn stashed on his computers is parallel. Oh, well, that's the same as, you know, molesting a newborn. That's what it was, right? It was newborn sex. That's what he did, I think. It's some porn on his computer, and it turns into, yeah, he was, you know, it's all these kids across the countryside just molesting them. Man, the media isn't fair, is it? Not on this channel. No, the media doesn't treat you very well. I had child porn. I had a collection of child porn. I used to trade in child porn on the internet. And I'm not telling a lie. You know when I had child porn on my computer? When I was a child. I was a child when I was... Because that's what was attractive to me, you know? And being a child, it didn't, like, really connect with me that, How did they get pictures of 12-year-olds? I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating. That's why, you know, if you're a kid out there and you're looking at, you know, pictures of naked girls your age, you don't realize it, but that's really, really wrong. It's not wrong because of how you feel. It's not wrong because you want to see naked people that are about your age. That's completely natural. Problem is, somebody took that picture, and they aren't 14. Where'd you even find that shit then, Pawn? Says a guy called Pi. Oh, it was a whole different internet. Pawn, you have parents? Says a guy called Pi. Yes, I was... Well, an egg was laid, but there were parents involved. I was hatched. It was a whole different internet back in my day. Pi. The FBI was saying inter what? And internet relay chat was, I think, exclusively for, like, illegal content. And I didn't know. I was just like, oh, internet relay chat, this is cool. And I started typing, and like 90% of the channels were pornography. So it didn't matter what you went looking for, you were going to find all kinds of things. Yeah, it was a dirtier place. It was a dirtier place, and I actually liked it a lot more. Because the era that I'm talking about is pre the Walmartization of the internet. You know, like everything now is trying to sell you something. There's basically no reason. People don't put anything on the internet if they can't think of a way to make money off of it these days, you know? YouTube videos, you know, I've got to ad monetize them. Like, people wouldn't be doing YouTube as much if they didn't think, ooh, I might be able to make music or make money off of it someday. And everything on the internet is just about, you know, serving you ads to make money or trying to sell you something, and it's really hard to find a website where it's just somebody sharing something. The internet used to just be a lot of really intelligent people, because you had to be in order to get on the internet back then and make the thing work. It used to just be a lot of intelligent people sharing interesting things and, you know, sharing what they were interested in, like Angel Fire. Angel Fire was one of the many in GeoCities. Is that what it was called? GeoCities? One of the many sites that was just like, it provided home pages. You'd go there and sign up, and they'd give you like free space to put up a homepage on their site. And I think they were serving ads, so they were trying to make money. But the people using GeoCities, it was like a huge thing. All kinds of people using GeoCities, and it was just because we wanted to, you know, F around on the internet. I made a website, my first like homepage, my homepage. I was just sharing like my drawings, you know, just showing. I got some scans of the drawings that I'd made and put those up there. Share the files that you like, you know. Everybody traded in the Anarchist Handbook, because everybody had a copy of it on their computer. Well, everybody I knew did anyway. It was part of the, you know, feeling like you're a hacker when you're really just a guy who has a computer before everyone else does. Oh, I got the Anarchist Handbook. You want a copy? Yeah, I've got it. Everybody's got it. Thanks, though. But yeah, it was a whole different era. First, in fact, one of the first things that I did in terms of building a homepage, I made my page like all black background, and then I did everything with Photoshop. Had a basically an effect where you just selected the area you wanted it to like wrap in flames, and then it would generate these cartoon flames around it. So I did everything in flames, and then I went out of my way to figure out the exact spacing so that some of the words in the paragraph that I had typed were on fire. Just because I could. And that was the internet that I knew and that we all lost. Where people were doing things mainly because they could. Mainly to experiment, to share, to have fun, just because it was amazing that you could reach out across the world now. And now it's just all about, you know, trying to get you over to Amazon, or, I don't know, trying to get you to buy something and I get a residual. What do you mean, crash vehicle? You should have seen, I had my... I don't know how I'm supposed to pull in here. I need to get on that side of things. I guess what I'm gonna do... Oh, I hit a cop, too. I think I just saw in my rearview mirror the car that I had. I think it was a cop. Well, that's better. That makes me feel better about it. And I'm just gonna have to back up the whole parking lot. Yeah. This mayo is horrible, says a guy called Pie. It's a lot of fat in mayo, I'll tell you that. Do you remember bulletin board systems, says Brent Gary? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was my first experience with the internet before, you know, I got on the internet, was calling, you know, only the local places because you're a kid, you know, and so you can't make long-distance calls on your parents' account, that kind of thing. But yeah, calling the local bulletin board systems. And I was Shadow was the name that I came up with, and you could colorize your name, so I always did it in like a dark gray. Shadow on the bulletin board systems, and then bulletin board systems got popular, and I'd log on to a new place, and I couldn't be Shadow anymore because everybody had taken, you know, the names. So I became Shade. Ah? Yeah. I was Shade because, you know, Shadow was missing, so, and Shade was actually cooler. I am the Shade. And then actually Shade kind of got me onto the internet, I think. And then, of course, Shade wasn't a thing, you know, like, everybody, all the words were taken once the internet started being a thing. So then I became Shade V2. And surprisingly, you could get that almost everywhere. Shade version 2. Tier 10, computer repair, tech stories, find things on people's computers, Jamasian. I don't actually recall. I'm sure I did, but I don't recall any, like, you know, fun, sexy stories about something that I found on somebody's computer, no. I mean, I'm sure that I did, but, you know, professional environment, just kind of turn a blind eye, and I mean, that's the thing, is you get kind of used to the, like, copious amounts of porn and stuff when you're doing computer repair, because if you're not replacing a power supply, which is 90% of the work, god damn it, give me enough room to turn 90% of the hardware-oriented work, then it's software, and it's all viruses. It's all viruses and spyware, and I know where all the viruses and spyware come from, you know. You're not getting them from Google. It's the thing. So I tried to avert my eyes to a certain degree, because if you've got this much spyware on your computer, we can't talk about it, but I know where it come from. I still vaguely... I miss that internet, says a guy called Pi. It was a good internet. It was a lovely internet. It was a more dangerous internet. Like I say, that was the time where you'd go on to IRC, Internet Relay Chat, and what you would find is stuff that was clearly illegal. Clearly illegal. Should not be trading in that. But at the same time, you know, I totally trade that for what we have now. If we could get back what we had before. I mean, I'm not saying I would child porn in exchange of, you know, getting Walmart off the internet. That's not what I'm saying. Oh god, I just made myself the new Jared, didn't I? I remember learning about the internet in like 3rd grade, says Parallel. And a guy called Pi asked, Quan, were you 12 then? At one point in my life, in fact, yes, I was 12 years old at some point. I don't know if I was 12, I was just, you know, pulling numbers out of the air like you do when you need a number. I don't know if I was 12 years old on IRS. I was probably 14, though. I would say 14 would be around there when I was actually a moderator on a porn channel in IRC. I was a moderator on the channel, and I was such a member of the community, and the thing was, there was like a community, and we weren't trading in child porn. Okay, it was regular pornography. But there was such a community built around this, like a real community. You know, we were like peers working together, and like, the fun of it wasn't, you know, the porn, it was like writing your own bot for IRC in order to like manage all of the thing and to come up with like a ratio and a trade system of you upload this and then that gives you this many points and that allows you to download this many files, then you upload another one, and it was fun like messing with your bot was the main thing. But there was such a community that the people who were in the channel that I had become a moderator in asked me without knowing that I'm 14 years old, because of course they don't, I'm not going to mention that. They asked me if I would be a administrator on a new IRC channel that they were starting on their own. And, like, I knew nothing of IRC administration, but they sent me a test to fill out, asking me, like, what the commands were and what you would do in this situation, that situation. And I went online and I figured out what the right answers were, and I just asked some people from the community, like, how does this work? And because they asked me the questions, I learned and became an administrator on a brand new IRC server. Not just a channel, but the server. I never did anything with that. I was actually felt kind of overwhelmed by the, you know, because I was, like, in the shadows hiding, you know, I'm 14 years old, moderating a porn channel. You know, the people I'm working with can't know this. And so, it was not a popular IRC server, but it was neat, that, you know, that. Please, everyone knows all the viruses came from LimeWire, says That was one of the sources, too. How many states do they have in this game, says Tony Stack? I think they've only got 5 of them. Right? They got California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. Do they have a 5th? Or is it just 4? Well, you're in the game, Pun. You could click and find out. I've got to choose what I'm going to take here. Fuel economy, just-in-time delivery, or fragile cargo. I kind of want to play with more just-in-time delivery. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. These points just come in, and I just take whatever job I want anyway. I'm not even going for money. LimeWire, that's the other Kazaa, right? Yes, it is. A guy called Bot. Indeed. How many states do they have in this game? Let's see. Yeah, it's just 4? Jesus, so the base game only comes with three states. I mean, there's so much packed into these states, and there's so much detail in the different areas, and in just, like, picking stuff up from a grocery store, you know, going out back instead of picking it up at a warehouse or something like that. There's so much detail that it's worth. You know, the price of the game is worth just these 3 states, but I didn't realize, yeah, they just got the 4 states there. Oh. I don't have American Truck Simulator just watching, says Tony Stick. Well, I recommend it. I mean, if you like Euro Truck, or you just like the idea of getting in the truck and driving around and upgrading your truck and all that kind of stuff, I don't bother, because it's kind of just a premise for us to ramble endlessly about who knows about anything. Sounds a lot like the NSFW dungeons, says Seeks Every Pony. Yeah! The community that we had on the porn channel. Oregon is coming out next. Really? Oregon? There's nothing in... What is Oregon known for? Why would you do Oregon? Portland. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. I would want to see Portland. That's worth doing Oregon. Do you say Oregon or Oregon? Because I think they say Oregon. Because it's always been like the Oregon Trail is how I've known it, you know, from the game. But because it's that, I'm pretty sure that the right way to say it is Oregon. I think that's how they like it. Tony Stack has Euro Truck Simulator 2. I definitely recommend American Truck Simulator. I liked Euro Truck and got this, and there's just... Because, like, the entire engine of the game was already built, there's so much little subtle detail in this thing that you just drive around for hours and hours and hours, and then you're still being surprised by, oh, look at that in the game, you know? Driving by, if you're an American especially. If you're an American especially, because, you know, seeing, like, the UPS truck parked over there, and they can't call it UPS, but just the little touches. Little touches. Paul, the new KSP scenario editor sounds perfect for touring KSP, for turning KSP into a game, says Brent Geary. Well, I'm gonna leave it for a minute. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If I were wise, I would leave KSP and the new version and the DLC for a couple of months and then get around to it. If I were wise. Because I know that it's just gonna be full of bugs. I mean, Noah was the first one who I saw talking about, you know, KSP, in the KSP channel about the new thing that came. Maybe it wasn't Noah. But somebody was talking about it, and then Noah got in there and started playing with it, and Noah was just doing me. He was doing me. going through and going, oh, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. Why does the center of mass is off? This part doesn't even snap. He's just playing, just finding all the bugs. So I don't want anything to do with the new KSP for a little while at least. If I were smart, I'd wait a couple of months. But I'm probably not that smart. We'll probably end up. Pure 5, are you looking forward to when Oregon comes out for the games, says Major Exelbirth? I am. How much money you got, Major? I am, yeah. I'd love to see Portland. Because I've never been there. My dad lived there for a little bit. How to do parking is what gets me, says Tony Stack. I don't drive trucks very well. It's the park, yeah, that's the thing. And they made it even harder in American Truck Simulator in comparison to Euro Truck. Oh my god, the positions they want you to put it in there. But you just keep doing it, and eventually, it clicks. And when I say eventually, I mean, 500 hours or so experience. I just say Oregon. Skip the last vowel altogether, piss everyone off. Well, it's safe. Oregon. KSP does not even work for Mac at the moment, says Tony. Oh, really? And Brent Geary, let's see what scenarios people come up with. I've come up with, I'll play with it. I will play with it, because we've got, our documents, our Google Docs on the scenarios that we want to put into Kerbal Space Program, that we were going to mod in with a lot of feature-enhancing mods that would go along with it. Scenario editor just might make that a lot easier, or might make me able to, to create a portion of the game, to build the skeleton of the game, and then layer the mods on top, so that they support the... That's another thing. When KSP gets a great big update, you don't want to touch it for 2 months, because all of the mods that you usually use are going to take 2 months to get updated and patched out when it's got a big update. We're going to take another live stream break. We're going to carry on with American Truck Simulator for another hour. Well, by the time we get back, it'll probably be 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so. So if you're up for it, stick with me. In the meantime, I'll play you a little music. When we come back, we'll talk about how 120 calories in every teaspoon in the fat and the margarine is plastic. I am the Ronin Pawn. Don't go anywhere. 7-minute break. Pawn not out.
We were born to bring it back, but it's more than basic. It's a portion of its rap at the core is ancient. It's supported like a pack of some warm cervezas. So important like the fact that we're bored of fake shit. More creative, have the floor, so take it. Travel to the core is a normal placement. Tattoos on my arm in a form of faith. Yet I battle with the thought of my morals vacant. Turns out, don't confuse it with a turn up. Ain't a veggie unless you count the burnt blunts. Burn up, I can do this Ric Flair stuff. You consider stir tough, I can never care enough. Care 11 kind of trouble when we're paired up. Apparently the fair started early, grab a bear stuff. My gears, clutch, and motor are all a rare cut. Basically with blood diamonds, ain't that hard to sell up.
My name ain't Mikey, but yeah, I rock. You know why? Cause I don't give a fuck. That's why it doesn't matter whether I'm cool or not. Just a taste of the word gives me the gut rock. It's not pop to just stop like a blood clot. Cause we're here to blow up like we came from a rock. Electronica, embezzled by hip-hop. Here to kick ass until the heart stops. Hipsters put on their cool shades, and thrifters keep the money they've been paid. And drifters have nothing safe for buying lifters. Don't give a damn what they say.
Wait, undeceivable, shit's unbelievable. You never ever guessed you'd hear this mix, it's inconceivable. Ouch, too hot, baby, back out of the kitchen. This is glitchy love at one for so daddy quit your bitch. I'm a poisonous affliction with a fireball addiction. Man, it burns like hell and tastes like heaven. You say bold, itching. Now I got you campus itching. This is music for your children. If you never heard the cue before, you don't know what you're missing.
Hey!
Doesn't matter if you're
Cooler, hottest than the cortisol, present better lose a box.
Doesn't matter if you're
Cooler, hottest than the cortisol, present better lose a box.
Doesn't matter if you're
Cooler, hottest than the cortisol, present better lose a box.
Doesn't matter if you're
club like Neanderthal. The choir got everybody dancing, dog. Yell on that X, I'm a sentinel, standing tall. No time to stand still, please don't meander, dog. They're throwing jazz at me to challenge my rap savvy. I sway like Callaway, I'm ahead, you'll never catch me. Ain't worry about it unless I spit Christmas gifts. My crew lighting up trees, you a screw to this. Menage a Quad, the name of my team supreme. They biting now, so I'm tossing out teeth and rings. You said you wanted bling, flossing ain't what you mean. You got baby teeth, though they pulling wisdom from me. Get neutered, respect the shooter of medulla. Give an inch, I'll take 5,280 rulers. Royalty around me and mine, we all sires. Words in Paris, we hot, that's French fire. Challenge my rap, Swabby. Keep the first one.
Hello, I am the Ronin Pawn, and welcome back to a Twitch.tv. Oh, the song ended. You bastard. Alright, well then, just be done. I am the Ronin Pawn, and welcome back to Twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn, live stream on Twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn. We're playing American Truck Simulator. It's here. Rest in peace, stream? Did it oof? Did it oof? Did something happen bad with the stream? Are we getting crackling again? Is a concern of mine. On the microphone. Are you able to see me? Am I suddenly alone? Like I've always been. Like I am when I go out. I'm not alone when I go out. Nope, says a guy called Pie. In reference to what? No crack right now. Oh, no crack right now? Damn it. Thought we were gonna have a good time here. It's all good, Vaughn. Thank you, Parallel. You're fine. Love you, Vaughn. Oh, Parallel. I love you too. I have been going out lately. Quite a bit. No speed either, says a guy called Pie. Oh, are you having bandwidth? No coke? Oh, that kind of speed. Okay. No coke. No. It's boring as hell, says a guy called Pie. I translated from what you actually said in chat. Plenty of heroin though. Oh, good. I've been going out quite a bit lately, and out to the club, you know. Out to bars is what I've been going out to, because I went out and saw Greg play at a place, Trixie's in Hamtramck, and I very much loved the venue, even though like that night I was pretty much just absorbed in Greg's music and nobody talked to me, and I just sort of sat at the bar, and honestly, the longer I sat there, the more the people who had been sitting around me seemed to not, I don't know, maybe I was stinky, but I enjoyed there was a good vibration there, so I came back on my own one night, kind of randomly, and walked into, I told you guys on a recent live stream, I walked into what was an open mic comedy night, and it was awesome, because all these people who are just, you know, trying to get some foothold into comedy, or just trying it out, just having fun, or trying to develop, you know, new parts of their set and stuff like that. It's just so cool. It was so cool. So that the idea of that has, you know, got me out to Trixie's a couple more times. I went out to Trixie's last night. It was supposed to be a comedy night as well. And when I got there, it turned out to be no room for comedy because they were doing a show. God. People in their shows. They were doing a show, musical acts, and it was clearly going to be metal. I showed up, and there's a cover to get in, $7 cover of all covers too. Usually it's like $5, and you know what? With inflation, it's not worth doing unless it's $7. So I can't complain. If I had wanted to go to the show. But I wanted to go there because it was Trixie's, and I thought it was a comedy night. I was gonna, you know, just watch other people, and maybe, you know, I'll write up my own set eventually and do something there, or just get up on stage and do what we do here with a couple of ideas and just start randomly talking and see what falls out and if anybody laughs at any of it. Yeah, I walk in. I'm there. Alright, it's a show. I'm open, sure, it's a show. Here's $7. I'll come in, I'll watch the show, I'll have fun. It's, you know, it's a cool place. I like the place, I like the people. Yeah. $7. I walked in, I got a beer, sat there. You know, I knew I've already learned the names of the bar staff and stuff like that, because, you know, I'm trying to intentionally pay attention because I do intend to hang out at this place quite often. So I've met some people, and it's just, it wasn't my crowd, you know. I mean, I like heavy metal, I like all music. If I would have stuck around, I might have liked the show. I didn't stick around because the crowd was just so, the vibration wasn't right. You know, it has nothing to do with the fact that they were a metal crowd or anything. It's just, it wasn't happening, you know. I couldn't see an in to talk to anybody, and the music over the, you know, before they started the music, before the band started playing, they've got the house music playing so friggin' loud that you couldn't have had I couldn't have walked up to a stranger and said, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, I mean, I could have, but it would have been so awkward because you have to shout so loud while you're trying to meet a new person, and like, "Hey, you want to have a conversation with a stranger?" "Not really. I think I'm gonna get laryngitis tomorrow from having to scream at you," you know, that kind of scenario. So I paid $7 to get in. I had one beer, you know, tipped the bartender, and there's another $3 because I'm the cheap stuff. It's only $2 for a PBR. $2. That's another reason I like the place. Oh, I'm supposed to get there quick? Damn it. Urgent delivery. Offer expires. When do you want it? Shit. I'm just gonna have to not sleep. Maybe we'll stop and get a coffee. I don't know. I'm taking the job anyway. I need to sleep. But yeah, so, you know, I dropped $10 on the place and then walked out. Because I knew I wasn't going to have a good time. I mean, I didn't know, but I didn't really want to find out. I wasn't feeling it. You know, you gotta be situationally aware, and when the room is vibrating at a frequency that doesn't resonate with yours, just don't sit there alone and waste your night waiting and hoping that something happens. Just walk out and go find another place, which is what I did. I went over to the Painted Lady, which is another place in Hamtramck. It's actually a smoke-easy. We have, you know, technically illegal bars in the city of Hamtramck where you can still smoke inside. And I don't know how often they get fined, or if they get fined at all, or if the police just don't bother with them because they're like a historic, but they've been there forever. I don't know what the deal is there, but I went over to the Painted Lady because it's always a chill place, and there was nothing going on there on a Tuesday night. And that was perfect, because I got to, you know, just like walk around, meet people, talk to people, play some songs on the jukebox. That's what I'm looking for these days. I find I just want to, like, I want a comfortable situation where I can, you know, walk up and say, hey, how you doing? Where are you coming from? You know, come here often? And then see what kind of conversation, deeper conversation emerges from just talking. I really enjoy that. I like sitting there and listening to other people's stories and finding out where people are coming from. And it's fun. It's cool. Hi, Paul. I'm glad to see you, says Archrochi. Hello. How are you? Where are you coming from? Come here often? No, you need to sleep, if anything. Oh, I could sleep in there. I don't understand when they want this delivery. They're surely going to give me a day. Oh, it's got to be there by Friday. Okay, if I take a nap, I can probably get it there by Friday. On time. It's Thursday, 12:18 p.m. by my readings right now. Where can I sleep back here? You say I can... Well, you're not supposed to go this way, Pawn. Well, if I just... Yeah, if I just kind of lean in, will you count me as being parked? I'm cheating the game. Have a sleep, park everybody else in. Oh, somebody was pissed off. Surprised if my truck got keyed overnight by the guys that I blocked in. Turn your headlights off and... Yeah, screw it, we'll go around in the wrong direction. Lauren Wattis? Wait, is Lauren Doll here? Because a guy called Pie just said Lauren Wattis? What? Lauren Wattis? Are you speaking Gaelic? What is that? What language is that? No bot's a bad bot. That's what I'm interested in these days, is, you know, just going out and meeting people and seeing what comes of it, you know? Trying to see if somebody will come home with me. Kind of an awkward situation, too, because, you know, my dad lives here. So, if anybody does come home with it, shh, shh. It's weird to own your own house and still be in that situation where you'd have to kind of, like, sneak in. But, yeah, the thing that has been, like, hasn't been bothering me, but I notice it. I noticed it Tuesday night. Was it just last night? Yeah, that was last night. Because, you know, I tell you guys that I took the night off because I haven't been feeling well, and I did, and I felt better, like, about now in the live stream. I was feeling pretty good. And I wasn't going out to, like, get plastered and have a big night on the town. I just, you know, wanted to go out to the comedy show. Then I got to the comedy show and there wasn't the comedy show, so, well, might as well get plastered. No, I didn't get plastered, but might as well stay out. So I end up at the Pink Painted Lady, south end of Hamtramck, and what I notice is, anywhere, especially that night, going from one place where it's all, you know, where it's going to be a heavy metal show, so everybody walks in and, you know, it's a lot of black leather, there's a lot of grommets on jackets and spikes and chains and, you know, metal and leather is what people are wearing there. And that's fine, you know, no big deal. And it really didn't even settle in on me until I got to the Painted Lady, which was not a metal crowd. It's more of a... Painted Lady is honestly like a depression bar. If you want to go and be depressed and drink beer at the bar, that's a good place to go because there's a lot of people doing that. I don't know why they're doing that there. I don't know why people go out just to sit and be depressed and get drunk, but that's the place to go anyway. But yeah, the people who were there doing something other than just being depressed and throwing them back, were, I guess, hipster, I would say. You know, their dress, their style, a lot of beards, a lot of, like, giant beards, you know? Which is, you know, nothing against that style, and if you've got a giant beard, you don't want to be called hipster, you don't have to be called hipster. But the people who I was seeing there, they fall into the category of hipster. We're going to have the category, it's got to describe somebody. It describes, you know, the group that I was seeing there. Both the feminine version and the male version, and the women's beards were just immense. Just the style of dress. And, you know, the weird thing, this is when it settled in on me, was looking at people who it almost looks like they're trying too hard to look comfortable. And in there looking comfortable, because it's like, I think the hipster style, if I had to describe it, is to look fancy comfortable, you know? To look like you bought your clothes at a thrift store, even though you probably didn't, and they're probably off-the-rack, designer thrift store-looking clothes. The styles don't necessarily match, and that's kind of the point, you know? Like a brown, sheepskin jacket over a plaid shirt with black jeans or something like that. I don't know, it's a weird style. Maybe not black jeans, but it's a weird style, but, like, what I took away from it it's not a criticism of hipster or of that style or of metal style or of any style. It's like, it's just style in general. Because last time Greg and I went out to the New Way bar to play the open mic, I went up in my friggin' pajama pants because I wasn't feeling that good that day, and it was like, I don't know, like, we're scheduled to do this, I'm not sure if I'm up for it, if I have the energy, you know, the fatigue is the lethargy. And then it occurred to me, you know what, if I just wore these pants, I think I could go. So I just wore, like, my pajama pants to the club, so there's some style for you. But I go out to the show that night, I just went comfortable. I put on a pair of jeans and, this shirt, in fact. This shirt that has absolutely nothing to it. No style to it, it's just a shirt of the appropriate thickness for the weather as it is right now. That's all that's going on there. I didn't have a jacket that was, you know, special, made it look nice, and I wore it over the top and had the buttons and zippers open. It's just, it was what I was wearing. Plus, you know, I changed out of the pajama pants, which I do for you, not for me. Gotta love a bearded lady, says Archie. But I almost, like, the fact that I just wore what I came in, you know, it makes me realize, you know, they're probably just wearing what they wear, but they kind of chose a style, you know, when they went out to, like, select their wardrobe, they kind of, it feels like, I don't mind that at all. I love the idea of having style and dressing up and, you know, looking a certain way. But I think if something bothers me about it, what bothers me about it is there's a resonance, there's a feeling to it, a smell about it, that it's being done with seriousness. And if anything bothers me, I think it's that. You know? Like, you selected a style and that's going to be your style, and you want to put that image out, you believe in, like, what it says about you. You know, you're trying to send a message to the other people in the room that this represents, you know, this is who you're going to get. When you walk up, I'm going to be that kind of person, so I'm dressing like this. It feels way too serious. Why so... it feels like you're taking it way too legitimately. Like, this is my style. And I don't know, if I were going to be playing with styles, my styles would be all over the place. I'd have a closet full of, you know, things that went in every direction just so that I could play. Because I don't take identity seriously. You know, I've got an identity. Everybody's got one. They're like assholes that way. And they really are. It's personalities. Members only jacket, Sister Mason. I didn't see any of those. Although, if I did, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. You know, it's just like... Even with, like, the style that, you know, because we're like a... I mean, you're sitting here watching a live streamer play games, so gaming and intellectual and that kind of thing. Like, I like the fact that I've got a Batman t-shirt, but somebody else bought it for me. I like the fact that I've got a t-shirt that shows like a gaming controller on it and says something like, "Just be calm, I got this," or something like that on it. But again, somebody bought it for me. Within our kind of culture, the gaming culture, you know, a similar thing happens, you know. People buy the t-shirts that have some kind of archaic reference to some Nintendo game that, you know, if you were around in that era, you probably played it, but if you weren't, you don't know it because it's dead. No, you know, a Battletoads t-shirt or something like that the kids these days with their fidget spinners and their hula hoops and their Burt Bacharach don't get. And it becomes like part of your culture, and that's your style, and it's like, I got nothing against that. I would buy a t-shirt, I wouldn't buy a Battletoads t-shirt, but there are certain properties out there, if I saw it, I'd be like, oh yes, I have to have that. I want people to know that, you know, I want, if there's one other person in the room who gets this reference, then, you know, we're gonna have a good time that night, the two of us, sitting and talking. I get it. But I guess it's like that vibration that I'm talking about, that the people doing that more often than not have the air about them that they actually take it seriously, you know? And maybe they don't. Maybe I'm on the outside and I'm just... I would love to find out that the entire, like, all of reality, that this existence, I've been sitting here, like, pulling my hair frustratedly going, I can't believe you think that, or you act that way, or you... I would love to find out that everybody was just taking the piss. I would love to find out that they were all just playing along. They're all just, you know, filling a role and acting the way they act, or wearing the clothes that they wear, just for fun. They don't really take it seriously. I'd love to find that out if that were true. But I don't think it is true. I think the world is full of a lot of people who are taking this whole experience way too fucking seriously. And I see people dressed that way, you know, dressed, like, when I see a woman who's dressed to go out at a bar, and she's really dressed up and that kind of thing, again, it comes down to vibration, but usually it doesn't bother me because it's cool. Like, she's going out, and she's dressed up, she's dialed up, put all the makeup on, she's wearing the sexy, you know, like, that's fun. And I'm sure she doesn't do that usually. It actually, I think it bothers me more to see the guys walk in who are wearing the brown coat over the plaid shirt and the khakis that do the... Because it's like, that, I'll bet, is not your version. This isn't dress-up time for you, is it? This isn't, I'm going out, so let me have fun. What you're wearing right now is, like, just what's in your closet, and everything in your closet is of a certain style that you kind of picked, didn't you? Didn't you? To try and go with your idea of who you are. I knew I could bring this rambling thing where we talked about no Zen back to Zen, because this is, to me, this is relevant to Zen, because it does come back to that sense of identity, you know? And I think that's what bothers me when I'm out and I see people as they are. It doesn't stop me from going up and saying hi and finding out who they are and finding out about, you know, all the depth to them. I know that no one is truly shallow. The shallowest people, I have had the conversations with, like, the girls who are, you know, just, you know, who will say whatever they need to say in order to be in the clique kind of thing. You get them, you know, away into a private environment and have a conversation with the person who you think is the shallowest person in the room, and you will find out that their history is long and storied, and they will very often tell you that they hate it. They hate the shallowness and the playing along, but they don't feel like they have an alternative. You know, their group of friends wouldn't accept them if they didn't, and it's just like the depths that you can plumb in a person who looks just entirely vain on the surface. They sometimes quite a bit deeper than, you know, the beatnik in the corner whose whole image is about his depth. You know, very often they're shallow people trying to put on an air of depth to try and try and make up for the fact that they don't really believe in anything, and they're just trying to find a corner in the world to feel comfortable in, but don't know themselves. I only ever dress in whatever I feel comfortable wearing, which is why I usually wear pajama pants or cloth shorts, depending on the season, regardless of if I'm out in public or not, says Mage Lord Exelwood. I think it's cool to be, like, comfortable enough with yourself to you know, go out in pajama pants. Now, if you're doing it at Walmart, I don't know, that's over the top. I mean, you're already in a Walmart, and then you're wearing pajama pants. That's not right. That's, you know, you don't wear your disco get up to the metal show, and you don't wear pajama pants to Walmart. It's tacky. But, you know, if you're going to drum at the open mic night at the New Way bar, then pajama pants are a very stylish and avant-garde choice, and I respect that. Crack's starting again. Ah, it's crackling again. Crackles. Alright, how am I going to do this? I'm going to try and do it. Oh, no, you can't. I was going to try and do it while I was driving. No, I'm going to have to pause it. Give the software another restart. And we're back. Tier 5. Then call me tacky, because I don't give a damn where I'm at in my PJs. You tacky. There I said it. There I said it. Oh my god, I just forgot how to play American Truck Simulator for a second. For a split second, I put my right hand on the arrow, and my left hand on the WASD, and I didn't know which one did what. This is... My brain is gonna go, guys. I don't, you know, my body's gonna be around a lot longer than my mind is, clearly. The way things are on, the way things are headed. I wouldn't buy stock in my ability to know what the hell is going on. In fact, going out and meeting people the way that I've been on those, on that head, the way that I've been meeting people lately, like, I'll go out, I'll meet somebody, I'll have conversation with them, and I show up back at the same place, you know, not the next day, but, and, like, I look at someone, and I think that they're the person that I talked to all those hours, and, you know, but, like, faces with names is just getting so hard for me. Certain people, you know, obviously there's a certain thing to, but if you're, you know, if you look kind of just normal, and then I see you the next day and you're wearing, or not the next day, but, you know, and you're wearing different clothes. There was a girl at the bar, last night, who I was pretty sure I knew, and I'm pretty sure I had a big long conversation with, and I'm pretty sure that I was flirting with her, and that kind of thing, but the problem was, if it was her, she had, like, done her hair nice, and, you know, she's wearing different clothes, and I'm just, I don't know, my brain, it's not working for names with faces. I have always been a far more, like, auditory person, and I didn't talk to her because I wasn't sure if I knew her or not, and that was the place where I left anyway, so, you know, if I heard her voice, maybe it would have been different. I'm like, oh, yeah, immediately. But also, like, I just identify people by their personality is probably the first thing that I identify them with. And so I actually have to, like, start to have a conversation with you to remember who you are before, you know, my brain has codexed your face and name. Certain people stand out, but there's a lot of people who I meet, and then I go into a place and, you know, there's someone is standing in the place where I met that other person the other night, and they, you know, look similarly, and I'll go up, and I know that I know that person's name, I've got the right name, and I'll say, you know, Eliza? And, no, there's an Eliza here, she's not here tonight. Like, oh, shit. Does anyone else have that experience? You can't remember who people are? I know that I know you, I just don't know what you look like, even though I stared at you for an hour into your beautiful, whatever color eyes they were. I don't remember that. I didn't mean it in a crack is sharting again sort of way, because I generally spelled that wrong. What, pie? I wear PJs only too, says Parallel. I'll throw pants on over the PJs when I go shopping, but that's just because 2 layers of pants is warm in this damn cold weather, says Parallel. I tend to identify people by their hair, says a guy called Pie. And he says it's weird. That was, like, my problem last night was, if this girl was the girl who I was chatting up all, the last time that I was in that place, all night long, flirting with, and that kind of stuff, if it's her, she, like, got her hair styled in the time since I saw her. It was straightened, and it was, nicely conditioned and everything, and it was not that night. She looked rougher that night, which was what I liked. Yeah, so she changed her hair, and if it was her, and then I'm like, I'm in the weeds here. Do I know you? Do I walk up and say, hey, and say your name? And then it's like, who are you? You say, well, no harm, no foul. Yeah, except for there are other people around who also know the person who I'm supposed to be, and then they'll know that I didn't know, and then if it gets back to, it's like, what do you do? Parallel says, I am the worst with names. I don't know how to spell my own... Whoa, Jesus. I don't know how to spell my own mother's name. I didn't know how to spell my own middle name for ages. Wow. See, that's weird. And you're weird. No, that's weird, and I'm glad to hear about it because, it's so... It's comforting to know how many different experiences there are around not being able to remember who people are. Just not having, like, the things that you can't quite get, that your brain just doesn't work that way. It's not naturally that way, anyway. You have to, like, train it, and it's effort for you to do it. Once upon a time, I couldn't keep straight, like, the cardinal directions. For the longest time, west and east. Obviously north and south, well, that's just up and down. But west and east, for the longest time, were, like, a thing in my head where I'd have to, like, sit down and think about, okay, what's to the east that I know? New York, which is in that direction. Okay, now that's east, so then California's west. A lot of trouble with that. And, I got used to it. Now I've got my cardinal directions. I can use them to, like, give people directions around here and that kind of stuff. But everything used to be left and right to me because I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Like some people can't remember names, like I can't remember faces. It's just so, it puts you in such an awkward position when you want to, like, go out and meet new people and stuff, what I need you to come home with me. And then when I see your face in the morning, I'll know that you're probably the person who came home with me last night, and it won't be awkward. I'm better with faces than names, says Tony Stack. Is there gas? I'm not getting off at Albuquerque. I hate Albuquerque. I don't know if I hate Albuquerque, but I don't want to get that far off the highway. Surely there will be a gas station just, off the ramp. It doesn't help that our mother decided to get creative with name spelling after she had me, says Major X. Creative? Is your name Latasha? Is it Jennifer with a PH? California is south from where I am, says Zerglop. See, even more confusing. You know what California is from where I am? It's the place you want to be. So you pack up your stuff and you move to Beverly. Okay, I need to pay attention to look at all of the friggin' highway ahead of me here. Slow down a little bit. Gun it. It says 75. They would have told me that I needed to go slower on the ramp if I would have needed to go slower on the ramp. Gun it! Ugh. Run out of gas the fastest way I know how. I'm just trying to keep momentum, actually. Momentum, so that when we do run out of gas, I'll be able to drift to a gas station. Because that looks like what we're going to have to do here. There's rest areas nearby. There's places to drop off and pick up stuff. No gas stations on the side of the highway. I'm running on fumes, people. Why call your kid Catherine when you can call her Catherine? Exactly. you know? Why name your kid Roy, R-O-Y, when you can name him R-O-I? Roy. Huh? Yeah. Why call him Joe when you can call him Joe? Call him Joa Unchained. It's either Alexander or Alexander or Alexander or... Jennifer with a PH is a sour ass. I get what you did there, a guy called by Jennifer with a PH is a sour ass bitch. Because of the pH level of Jennifer is, so she's more alkaline and therefore sour. I should just get a name change to Alexander. That's actually spelled normally. What's the Tom Scott's got a video on, I think it's a Scottish name that is spelled the way it's spelled because of like Old English, when there were extra letters that have been done away with in modern English to represent like Y and combinations and stuff like that, and via the advent of the printing press, certain letters that they didn't have spaces for, they just converted them to the letter that looked closest or sounded closest, or no, looked closest, I think. And so you end up with Scottish names that like, or certain names that just don't sound at all like they look. Like that letter isn't even in there. And then, you know, eventually it ends up being pronounced the way it looks because nobody can remember where it came from. Alexander with an H? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what you're doing, but stop it. I'm looking for gas. I'm trying to read chat. Just like to remind everyone here that my middle name very nearly ended up being Balana. This is a guy called Pi. Torres? We've done that joke before, which is unnecessary and ridiculous. Your, which name? Oh, your middle name. I was gonna say, does anybody know anybody whose parents decided to give their child a different last name? That'd be interesting. That would show some bravado, some balls, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it do? You know? I was thinking recently about if I have a child, and I suppose you can do it for a girl or boy, because these words don't really make sense. Okay, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. With the, ah, damn it. I'm out of fuel. Son of a bitch. Give me a drink. Call the service center. Is this what I do? Sorry. Yeah, they'll take me to Santa Fe for $546. Sure. Will they get me gas? Because, am I going to have to, like, walk it? What do you do? Does this game have dynamic weather, or is that just a skybox? I believe it's dynamic weather. I don't. Am I still out of gas? Nope, they put a little bit of gas in for me. Alright, am I still on time? I have no idea. I don't need to repair or upgrade it, just needed some gasoline. Oh, I got 5% damage. I do need repairs. Well, I don't care. I don't care. Get me back on the road. I gotta get this liquor to wherever it's going before it turns into rye. What does liquor spoil into? Nothing. It's alcohol upon it. Kills all the bacteria. Oh. I don't know. Yeah, naming your kid. What was I going to name my kid? Oh, I was going to name, oh, give me a second, because it's complicated. I'm going to name my kid, give me a second, I said parallel. I was going to name my kid, Lester Thames. Lester Thames. What do you think? Good name? Boy or girl? Maybe Thames Lester if it's a girl, you know. Thames sounds more, you know, feminine than Lester. I don't think my daughter would appreciate being named Lester. But I was going to spell it the way that you guys spell Leicester Square and the River Thames. And then my child could have a name that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Leicester Thames, pronounced Leicester Thames. Screw you. Screw you, England. Screw you, England. Okay, what parallel cheer? Cheer 5. There's some names that are like Eileen, which is Alan. Okay, hang on. Jesus Christ almighty on it. What's with the cross hatching? It's a right. I can turn right on red. I know I'm supposed to stop before I do, but who's watching anyway? Eileen is Alan, and Ong Hus is Angus. Okay. Okay. I still need to get gas. They only gave me a quarter of a tank, if that. But yeah, Lester Thames. You like it, right? Cheer 10. Varnish? Liquor turns into a varnish. Oh. Why do I always have to be wrong about, you know, everything? No, it's a yellow. As long as I'm under it by the time it turns green, then you can't complain. Oh, I should probably have my headlights on, shouldn't I? In the middle of the bleeding night. Well, I was in the city, and I couldn't tell that the road was not illuminated. I could see everything that I needed to. Yeah, so I've been going out more than I have been, you know, forever. Been going out because I found some places that I like. Well, I found a place that I like, and just going out to the place I like drove me to other places when the place I like wasn't doing a thing that I liked. Yeah. So, in addition to that, just before the live stream here, I'm putting a polish on my Plenty of Fish profile. Putting a polish on my online dating profile. You know, need to get some more recent pictures on there. Pictures that I used when I set it up. The last time that I set it, you know, every couple of years I end up going on to Plenty of Fish just to see what's out there, and then, you know, being just sent screaming in the other direction when I see what's actually out there. So a couple of years it's been, and you could probably date the last time that I updated it based on the fact that all the pictures that I have up there are YouTube thumbnails from my videos. All of them except for one, anyway. So I've got the thumbnail from the Firewatch playthrough, where I'm in drag, holding a pair of panties. I've got the thumbnail of me as the evil pawn when we were playing, what was that game where you're playing the evil villain? Evil Genius. Evil Genius. That video that I did on there, so I've got the thumbnail from that that's got me as my own clone, my own gay clone standing in the background. I think this is what's going to attract the, you know, the highest quality woman. Or man, whatever, you know, transgender. I am listed on that as pansexual. I'm open. Cheer 10, job equals internet entertainer, says Jermasian. Yeah? Yeah? But yeah, so you could probably date, like, the last time that I updated my profile based on what was the last thumbnail. You could at least say, well, it was no longer ago, you know, no... than that. I don't know how to frame that sentence. My brain doesn't work great. Did I mention that? Guy called Pie, Cheering 5, I recently made a list of futuristic-sounding first names I came up with. Jib, Medj, Jones, Iba, Ari, Paul, Robert, Fugaida, Jenny Fury, Bile, and Tomison. Wow. So those are not futurists. Those are just disgusting. Bile? You're gonna name a kid Bile? Jeez, he's gonna have a good first day in kindergarten. Hey, Bile. Something, puke. I don't know. There's some. It's too easy. I'm not swinging at that. It's low and on the outside. He's a sweet pansexual from Pennsylvania. I like that, Sorglov. I like that a lot. But yeah, I was working up my my dating profile on the fishes. And like I say, every couple of years I'll get in there and I'll the way this pattern usually goes is I'll get in there, I'll update my profile, I'll have a look around, I'll see, you know, 2 or 3 people I'm interested in, try and send them a message, never hear anything back, and you know, get some messages from people who I'm not interested in, and then just in the process of like clicking through profiles, get so disgusted by the banality of people on these interpersonal sites. And just the, you know, I like to have fun. Shut the fuck up. You like to have fun. Oh, do you now? Well, I'm not interested in people who enjoy fun. I was looking for someone who's a couple seconds off of slitting their wrists. Next, swipe left. Or whichever direction you swipe. I've never used that app. But, you know. Like, I like to have fun. And the women who, like, I don't... There are women out there who enjoy sport, and, you know, they're dating, and they want to tell, they want that out there, because it is a big plus, you know, because there's a lot of guys out there who like sports. When you find a woman who's into sports, it's cool. I get the feeling, the distinct impression, that there are a lot more women claiming the, you know, I'm really into sports, than there actually are on the dating sites. I think they've figured that trick out, you know? Learn the names of the local teams, and you can tell in the way that they talk or in the way that they say. I mean, if they write, I'm really into sport, then they're not into sport. Not in America, we don't call it sport. Looser. Ooh, Cheer 5. I like to have fun, breathe, use both legs to walk, and be corporeal. That's about the, yeah. You get these just bland, say-nothing profiles, and it just ends up pissing me off and driving me away, because between the profiles that are just saying nothing, you know, that use a lot of words and say nothing, and Jesus, women, really there should be more female politicians, because the ability to just talk and say nothing. Good God. There's another gas station there and you still need gas. Yeah, but he was blocking. I couldn't get off in time. Which is a problem when I'm dating. Can't get off. I know I'm running out of fuel. I'm paying attention. I've still got an eighth of a tank. Shut up. So between the ones where they talk ad nauseum and then say nothing, and then the ones where what you get is just, like, pictures of what tends to be, like, a really hot girl, and then she writes 2 sentences and that's it. That pisses me off. That really pisses me off. Because, like, you're basically saying, I'm not a personality over here, you know? I'm a pair of tits, you know? That's what, I mean, or maybe it's just, I think what pisses me off is just the balls of it. Just the, like, I don't have to try, you know? And it's like, yeah, you don't have to try, do you? The rest of us do try, you know, do have to try. Or even if we don't have to, you know, we are trying. There are several things on the dating sites that get under my skin, and those are the 2 big ones. Are the pretty people who don't make any effort, and then the people who whose only effort made is, you know, I like food. I enjoy enjoyable things. I like movies. Music is one of my favorite things that exists. Like, shut the fuck up. Please, for the love of God, give me some hint that there is an individual in there. And it's just marketing, you know? It's just marketing. The less people who you know, the less you say, the less people you'll turn off, basically. The same thing as politics, you know? The less you say, the less votes you'll lose. Jesus. Yeah, why don't you slam the brakes on it? Who cheered? I like long walks on the bleach, says Zorgla. So, you know, that would be interesting. That's that person I was looking for who doesn't enjoy fun and is, you know, just got back from considering jumping off a bridge. That's who I'm looking for. Long walks on bleach and nothing fun. Profile pics with multiple women in them, says Brett Geary. Yeah, that's one. That's one of them, too. That don't indicate who they are, you know. Fake. And then also the pictures that are, you know, it's a picture, and then in the background you see, like, the most modern vehicle is 20 years old or something. It's just, you can see, like, there's a newspaper in the background somewhere, and it's like January 1973. Like, could you give me a recent image? You know, because I've been in that situation where, you know, you see somebody in the picture and you're like, oh, they're attractive, and, oh, I like what you wrote, and then you make a date with them and you show up and you go to sit down, like, you're waiting for them, and you don't realize you've just walked in and walked by them, because they don't look like that anymore. You know? And I get it, but it's just, it's not the... Like, I wouldn't want to date you, regardless in that scenario. It's not the unfairness in marketing and, oh, I thought, you know, you were attractive, and then I get here and you look like this now. It's not just the physical thing, it's the fact that you just announced to me when I show up, not only am I not the person you thought I was visually, I also don't have, like, a spine. Like, I don't think that I'm attractive. So I'm... you know, selling pictures of myself from 5 years ago when I was 60 pounds lighter. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't value themselves on that level either. So yeah, individualism is irrelevant, says a guy called Pie. Well, then you're just looking at the sex sites. You're not really, it's not, you know, it's that kind of personal. Different kind of personal site if individualism is irrelevant. Come subscribe to my other profile on this paid site. Germaine, you get that? For $6.95 per call, you can talk to a sexy woman. 30 dirty Sexons. $5 for every 30 dirty Sexons. Oops, did I say Sexons? Sex is irrelevant, says a guy called Pie. Yeah, that's what's listed on my profile right now. Actually, what did I choose? I chose, oh, what is the word? I'd never heard the word before, and then it was on Plenty of Fish as one of the descriptors. It's like hetero-casual or something like that. Hetero with options. I don't know what it was. Kind of something like that. Hetero-casual and pansexual, I think, is what I chose. Is what I described. You know, makes it more interesting, doesn't it? All right, we're gonna park this one up, and then this is going to be the last delivery of the day, because I need to eat something. I'm starting to feel little tinglies in my arms and fingers and whatnot. Yeah, so that tends to be how are you gonna do this, Pawn? Is there a way to go around back? Probably not. Almost certainly not. That's the challenge of the parking job, isn't it? That you don't have a way to go around back. Yeah. Yeah, that probably is the thing. Oh, and it's a two-stack trailer. Oh, God. Parking one of these. Oh, I could have pulled straight in. Oh, crap. Because it's an easy park job. I didn't realize. I thought I was going to have to back it in. Holy crap. How do you even do this? Okay. Rear. I need you to get more in line with that one. And just go straight back. It looks like you've got... No, what am I doing? Ah, crap, I've jackknifed the truck number 1. Oh my god, how does anyone do this? I guess that's why they gave me the 25 experience point thing, because they're like, no, it's impossible. Probably the guys who drive truck don't even back these things up. A double stack. You gotta be thinking in 9 different dimensions at once. I think I'm just gonna hit enter and call it on this, because what the hell? How much in front of me have I got? I can at least, like, pull it forward and maybe get us going straight. And then just go straight back. I mean... No. How about no? No. I give up. I'm not even close enough to hit the button and park it now. Oh, God. Oh, God. You have to be in the parking lot, and then from where I am now, I don't think I'm technically in the parking lot, even. Oh, crap. This is balls up. 2 trailers, 1 truck. Wow, says Zorglob. Look at that. What in God's name are you supposed to even do? Doesn't it? It usually offers you can press enter, and that's all. Okay, go. Just straight back. Straight back. With speed. Yeah. Jackknife and push it where it needs to be. How do I end this? I just want to end it. Parking brake on, hit T. Alright. I'm done. That was me. Good work. I'll see you later. You want to start off turning right, then slowly ease your wheel left. I was slowly easing, and it just kept jackknifing on me. I was going straight back, and it was jackknifing on me. I'm done. I got... It's delivered. You're welcome. Is this the owner's, convertible? There you go. That's for you. Thanks. I'll see you next time. Can I deliver it? Can I just drive over here and then hit the button and deliver it? Where's the I give up button? It's the escape button, Pawn. There you go, people. There you go. Oh. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. No, sir. Tony, what I was saying earlier about, you know, you just get it if you do it long enough. Nobody gets that. That never works out. Jermaine ensuring if I rotate the cab the other direction to move the back trailer. I wonder if I could have dropped, like, disconnected one cab from the other, and then... it's just... Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this live stream. I don't quite want to end it just on that. Here, let me read. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do as a closer? Pong, you haven't streamed in a while. This isn't already the end of the first stream in a while, is it? Yeah, it's 3 hours. I have chronic fatigue. I'm not going to be able to make it here for Friday if we keep going. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read from my, my profile. I'm not going to zoom in on it because I don't want you to see it all, but I'm going to read, from my profile. Yeah, I thought it was... Drew 10, good job, Pawn. Thank you, Zorglob. Good parking job, right? Just abandoned everything. Read you from the profile that I'm still working on it. Still working it out, you know? I want to go back, because a lot of this was, like, what was written there before, and then I just came back and kind of updated it and tweaked it. So I want to, like, start over and, you know, try and give an actual sense of myself, I suppose. Right now it still feels a little bit generic, and you know how I feel about generic posts that don't really tell you anything. Okay, so my self-summary. Lonely YouTuber. Lunatic homebody. Too powerful to live. Too rare to die. I'm gonna skip what I'm doing with my life and just go to the interesting parts. I'm really good at making people laugh, complaining about technology that doesn't work, and judging strangers harshly for being exactly like me. The first thing people notice about me is that cat hair all over you? Favorite books, movies, shows, music, and food. Remember daylight savings in the U.S.? Wait, no. Zerglob cheering 10. Make sure you put a profile pic featuring each of your wigs. That'd be good. No, what I need to do is, you know, get, like, well, I don't really have any right now, do I? I was gonna say I need to get, like, a friend who's 6'4", tall, dark, wearing a suit, and then I'll just take a picture with him and, like, 2 other dudes. And that'll be the only picture on there. With a big, and then, like, I'll, you know, have him put a great big, like, sock in his crotch for the shot. My favorite books, movies, shows, music, and food. Music? My first love was Ani DeFranco, and maybe I'm still getting over her. But there will always be a special place in my heart for trashy's 90 grunge rock, avant-garde noise bands, cake, and campy self-aware music, like They Might Be Giants, the Presidents of the United States of America. Skipping shows. Books. My memorable authors list starts with David Wong, author of John Dies at the End, and Ben Croshaw, author of Mogworld, and ends around, somewhere around Charles Dickens and Herman Hesse. Well, my regular reader days are mostly behind me. If you can recommend something either pithy with a movie-like tempo, or inordinately verbose and 1,200 pages long, those seem to be my jelly. What in here is actually kind of humorous? Not enough. I need to keep working on it. In food. My tastes stretch from kimchi and bibimbap to falafel and hummus to kale salad and avocado. But, you know, tater tots and instant noodles will do in a pinch. Sometimes not even in a pinch. Sometimes I want store-bought shrink-wrapped ramen with copious amounts of MSG in a tin-foiled baggie. Sue me. Let's see, what else? Oh, God. I probably should take this part out, but, you know, I was just being honest. You don't want to be honest in a personal, is what I found out. I spend a lot of time thinking about, is one of the sections that they give. So, I say, lately my thinking has revolved around the city, because I mentioned Detroit a lot in this profile. Here on 6 Mile, there's more blight than population, and you'll sooner find a dilapidated house selling drugs than you'll locate a McDonald's. Police response times average a little less than an hour, so pausing to call 911 in an emergency is mainly a waste of precious seconds in which you're better served making sure the magazine of your firearm is topped off. There are real solutions to these problems, but for every solution there seems an irrational political unwillingness to consider anything more nuanced than make more money downtown, as though another casino or sports stadium is what's lacking here. I don't know. Detroit has me worried. And that's just me being honest, so we gotta get that section out of there. Let's see. On a typical Friday night, I am... Well, we just talked about that the whole damn time. What I've been doing on my typical Friday night. You should message me if... I like this section, I think. I'm looking to meet a 30-something woman who prefers to go fast to go slow. To dive in headfirst and then relax, unwind, and enjoy the subtleties. Who is therefore at least theoretically open to the possibility of flying to Vegas and getting married on the first date, who feels a bit like a misfit toy in this world and has already figured out that there's nothing wrong with that. There's, you know, do you think am I going to be tapping some, later? And you think I'm, is this just Spanish Fly? Spanish Fly for the ladies right there? Am I hitting it? Oh, also, side note, at the end of my, you should message me if, side note, it might help if you're a lesbian. For some reason, the women I connect with tend to be gay, which sucks because they've already ruled me out, just for being flat-chested and having too large a clitoris, and that's racist. I'm gonna be just drowning in puss, right? Drowning in puss, he says! I am the Ronin Pawn! Thank you all for joining me on this inaugural live stream of the return from being ill. We will be back again, presuming I'm still feeling well enough, this Friday at 4 p.m. with an entirely different game. Or exactly the same. No, we're not going to do American Truck Simulator. But Planet Coaster's on the table, and outside of that, I'm trying to push KSP off for a bit to just give it some time to, settle and ruminate. I just got a whole bunch of games. I've never tried before. So maybe we'll be doing that. We'll be doing it 4 p.m. this Friday. So join me then. Pulling out. I'm done being ill. Don't worry, Quan, you're done being ill because I'm ill now. Oh, good. I got rid of it. Now it's yours, sucker.